From Wrigley Field on a clear, crisp April evening, Cubs fans filing in as we get set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight, the Cubs look for their fourth consecutive win, off to an 8-4 start through 12 as they host the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Heating up just a little bit. It's still cool, but should be a great night for Cubs baseball. Aramis Ramirez off to an excellent start, and Bob, whenever he has chances to drive guys in, he pretty much always takes advantage.
He really does, Len, and I really truly believe that opposing pitchers think they're setting him up, when in reality, Aramis Ramirez is setting them up. A great at-bat last night. Right after a fastball inside, they tried to get him with a slider away. He went out and golfed it into right field for an RBI.
Yeah, Aramis continues to come through. He had the big game-winning home run in extras on Saturday. A little bit of a slow start last year at 250, but a scorching start here in 2009. He's already knocked in 14 in his first 10 games of the season. Believe it or not, Ted Lilly's going to pitch tonight. It's been a while for Ted.
It's been a while for Ted Lilly, but these are the conditions that Ted Lilly really likes. It's going to be a cold, crisp evening here at Wrigley Field. He's going to run that fastball in on the hands of the right-handed hitters of the Reds, and hopefully he'll have his best stuff going tonight. This is an explosive Reds ball club, even though they're not swinging the bats real well right now.
Yeah, it's been 9 days. Those were some pitches he made on opening day, and yeah, the weather wasn't good, but he was fantastic. And he needs to be a little bit better against the Reds.
Well, and I think he will be. Ted Lilly's a guy that learns every time out there, and he needs to learn against the Reds because they owned him last season.
All right, coming up, it's Game 2 of this 3-game series. We saw some more strange occurrences at Wrigley Field last night, but it didn't stop the Cubs from grabbing their third straight win. They go for 4 straight. Coming up next.
Confidence. It really takes time to build confidence. You have to work at it. And eventually you come to the conclusion, I can do this.
Your Chevy dealers are building confidence with Chevy's trade-in protection plan, which locks in the value of your car down the road. The only trade-in protection plan of any car company in America.
If that isn't confidence, I don't know what is.
See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
Okay, I get it. These 10 sprinkles represent our friends and family, the 10 people we can call whatever network they're on without using our minutes.
That's included, no extra cost.
Then these would be like 80 million people on Verizon Wireless we can also call?
Yep, also included.
Do you want whipped cream?
Save minutes and money with Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to 10 out-of-network numbers, even landlines. Plus, get America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And now get a touchscreen Crave for just $49.99.
Agility, control, for whatever the road throws your way. The IS from Lexus. Lease the 2009 IS 250 all-wheel drive for $349 a month for 36 months with $35.49 due at signing at your Lexus dealer.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by the all-new 2010 Lexus RS, reinventing the vehicle that invented it all. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, dedicated to giving you the security to experience wellness everywhere. Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees.
The spring warm-up has begun. It was pretty warm today, mid to upper 60s, but then the wind changed, and it's another cool night. But as you see, blue skies above, we are dry. Wind is blowing straight in right now from center, so it should be a pretty good pitcher's night as Ted Lilly and the Cubs take the field. Ted's first start in 9 days, and it'll come against this Cincinnati Reds Southwest starting lineup. Willie Taveras will lead it off in center. Former Cub Jerry Hairston in a platoon, so he starts against lefties. Joey Votto's at first. Edwin Encarnacion's going to bat cleanup. That's because Brandon Phillips has been demoted a couple of spots. He's 0 for his last 21. Jay Bruce last night with the 2 RBIs for the Reds. Bottom 3 of Hernandez, Gonzalez, and Cueto.
Take a look at the Home Depot Cubs defense tonight. Soriano, Fukudome, and welcome back to Milton Bradley playing right field tonight. The weather conditions have finally improved enough that Milton can go out there with that achy groin. Ramirez and Terrio will be on the left side of the infield. Aaron Miles at second base. Derek Lee at first base. Giovanni Soto behind the plate for left-hander Ted Lilly. We showed you the numbers for Ted Lilly against the Reds last year. As you get a look at his numbers on this season, I really think last year Ted got a little stubborn with his fastball at times against this Reds lineup. And we talked about it, even though they're not swinging the bats well in the early going, this is a dangerous lineup if you make mistakes against them. He needs to make sure he gets that fastball in on the hands of the righties and then use that backdoor slider and change up away.
Now the umpires, 5-year veteran Lance Barksdale from Mississippi will work home plate. James Hoy at first, Adrian Johnson at second, and the crew chief Randy Marsh is over third. It'll get even warmer tomorrow, and when the Cubs hit the road, even warmer than that. And I saw the next time it's going to be cold here is when we come home in about a week.
Perfect.
That's all right. Spring and summer right around the corner.
That's the rumor anyway.
So Taveras, Hairston, and Votto against Ted Lilly. Cubs are in first along with St. Louis. And the first pitch is a called strike outside half of the plate, right at the knees. 0-1 on Taveras. He was 1 for 4 in the opener. The hit was an infield hit. Called strike 2. The curveball by Lilly, former Cubs manager Dusty Baker, has led his Reds to a 5-3 road trip. They're 7-6. And that sliced foul out of play. The Pirates beat the Marlins again. They swept them in Pittsburgh. So the Pirates are 9-6.
Break them up. Swept that series against Florida without their starting catcher Ryan Domit, who figures to miss 6 to 8 weeks.
Good start for Lilly as he fans Taveras. Showed you the numbers in the open. Ted last year did not beat the Reds. He lost all 4 starts, so he's looking for a little revenge here tonight.
I think if he uses the same approach against this entire lineup that he did against Willie Taveras, he'll have great success tonight. A lot of off-speed pitches, nibble around the edges of the strike zone, use your fastball sparingly, especially on the inside part of the plate to the righties. This backdoor slider for strike 1.
Jerry Hairston Jr. was acquired by the Cubs in the Sammy Sosa, Mike Fontenot deal. He's now a Red. 1-1.
You know, we didn't even get a chance to say it last night. Jerry Hairston pinch hit in the ball game last night. The second pitch he saw, he jerked foul down the third baseline with authority. Cub fans are very familiar with that particular foul ball down the left field line, so we'll keep an eye on Hairston tonight.
Jerry's been an Oriole, a Cub, a Ranger, and now a Red. No one outside. He was on the DL 3 times last year, but was terrific when he was healthy at 326.
Well, he's a valuable guy, Len. I mean, we know very well how versatile he is. As you mentioned, part of a platoon in left field this year, but he will see time at short, second, third, maybe center field.
And Ted really wanted that pitch and didn't get it. 3-1. Lilly trying to start a year 3-0 for the first time. That long, slow windup. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 45 degrees as we got started. Really cooled off.
And you could tell during batting practice at that time of day, the third base side of the field is in the shade, the first base side's in the sun, and it felt very comfortable on the first base side of the field. It was chilly on the third base side.
Wind out of the northeast at 5. Up in the air near second for Ryan Theriot. I think the wind's going to blow out tomorrow. With the weather heating up, it hasn't officially blown out yet during the home schedule.
We've had a couple of crosswinds, including last night, blowing from left field over toward right field, really affected a lot of the balls that were hit into left center, and center field. And similar wind tonight, pretty much blowing straight in right now.
Joey Votto 5 for 13 with 2 homers against Lilly. 2 outs, nobody on. We just got started. Off the plate inside. Couple of shutouts in the National League. Arizona blanked the Rockies 2-0. Giants got a run in the bottom of the 10th to beat the Padres 1-0. Ground rule double by Benji Molina, scoring Andres Torres to win it. And a 1-1 hit in the air down the left field line, and it'll find the seats.
We mentioned that Diamondbacks game. Dan Herron, winning pitcher in that game. He was 0-3 with a 1.89 ERA before picking up the victory in the game today.
7 shutout innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts for Dan Herron. Now 1-3. Well, a 1.38. Votto with a very defensive swing on that curveball, and will be thrown out by Aramis Ramirez. Cubs are coming up against hard-throwing Johnny Cueto.
Power, agility, control, for whatever the road throws your way. The IS from Lexus. Lease the 2009 IS 250 all-wheel drive for $349 a month for 36 months with $35.49 due at signing at your Lexus dealer.
Hey, Cubs fans, are you looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the friendly confines with StubHub. There's always a ticket available to a Cubs game.
Right now, you can get 5 Arby's regular roast beef sandwiches for just $5.95. It's our delicious, freshly sliced classic roast beef piled high on a hot toasted bun. Stop by today and pick up 5 Arby's regulars for the amazing price of just $5.95. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Hey, Skip, need you in the wheelhouse.
Tenacious grip, no matter the conditions. Firehawk tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
Reds went down in order against Ted Lilly. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup written out by Lou Piniella. Soriano, Fukudome, and Lee at the top. Good to see Milton Bradley back in the lineup for the first time since the 12th of April. It's Aramis Ramirez at third, Giovanni Soto catching. Bottom 3 at Theriot, Miles, and Lilly. Ryan Theriot leading the National League in batting at .409.
What are you throwing first pitch, Len?
Would throw him a fastball down the middle over Johnny Cueto. Fly to deep right. And back on the track is Bruce, and he caught it. It was a fastball, and it was out over the plate. Bruce got twisted around in right, but he had just enough room.
He gave that ball a ride. No wind. It's probably up into the basket. That's right down Main Street and low where Soriano likes it. Gave it a ride, but Jay Bruce able to stay with it and make the play.
Might have been a home run last night with the wind.
The reason I ask, I checked with Nao Masamoto, who is the video coordinator for the Cubs, and I had him go back through all of Soriano's at-bats leading off a game this year, whether it's top of the first inning on the road or the bottom of the first at home. And counting tonight, 13 at-bats to start a ball game. He's seen 11 fastballs. That is shocking to me. 1 slider, 1 changeup, 11 fastballs.
Do you think that is because a pitcher feels, especially early on, that's the one pitch he can control the best? Why hang a slider or a curveball on the first pitch of the game?
I'm not sure the reason. I mean, a well-located fastball is fine, but if you try to throw it for a strike, especially down in the strike zone, knowing how aggressive Soriano is going to be, you could find yourself looking at a deficit after 1 pitch.
Meanwhile, 2-2 on Kosuke.
I think all starting pitchers want to establish their fastball early in the game, and the fact that they can command it on both sides of the plate. But I think sometimes the opposing hitter in the batter's box will tell you that that's not the best plan of attack.
The 3-2 from Cueto is hit foul. Johnny Cueto is only 23. 5'10", 201 pounds. From San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. A hotbed of baseball talent throughout the years. And a base hit for Fukudome, first base runner. His .357 average will go up.
Take a look at the Reds defensively, brought to you by Home Depot. Jerry Hairston Jr. in left, Willie Taveras in center. Jay Bruce already had some action out in right field. Edwin Encarnacion, Alex Gonzalez on the left side of the infield. Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto on the right side. Ramon Hernandez doing the catching tonight for right-hander Johnny Cueto. Throws a fastball, a slider, a changeup. Fastball will sit in the low 90s. Has a tendency to get a little overexcited out there on the mound, especially on 2-strike counts. He wants to go for those strikeouts.
Well, now in 11 innings on the season, he has 12 strikeouts, so he misses bats, but he's also walked 7. And he's 1-1 on Derek Lee.
And throughout his very short career, he tends to hit a wall right around the 75 pitch mark, mostly because he's a maximum effort guy. He really puts a lot of energy into every pitch he delivers and starts to run out of gas right around the 70 to 75 pitch mark.
Base hit past Gonzalez and into left. Back-to-back singles. Setting it up for Milton Bradley.
Number 21, Milton Bradley.
Bradley's first home start. The groin injury happened on the final game of the first road trip in Milwaukee. He's been used as a pinch hitter. He has 1 hit. That was a home run on the road. He has never homered here at Wrigley Field, and he hits it foul. He did receive a 2-game suspension after he got ejected for aggressively arguing balls and strikes and making contact with Larry Vanover on Thursday, but he has appealed. Well, the Cubs took extra batting practice today, and I'll tell you, just about the whole team participated. They haven't had a lot of chances with the weather.
You can hit the cage all you want, but it just doesn't feel the same as when you can get out there in that batter's box and see where the line drives off your bat end up. You can drive yourself crazy hitting in those cages, but it's always good to get out on the field. That ball come down in the outfield grass or in the bleachers. Much better tune-up for a ball game.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. warm those hats are, but they're stylish. Got him. Called strike 3 and a fastball. And the first punch out to Cueto. No argument for Bradley. That was a really good pitch.
Center cut fastball right there. Milton obviously looking for something else from Johnny Cueto. Just heads on back to that third base dugout. Here comes the RBI machine, Aramis Ramirez.
3 hits, 3 RBIs last night. And the 2 run-scoring singles went the other way. Talked about it in the open.
Yeah, one on a slider off the plate away from a right-handed pitcher, and then Daniel Herrera, a lefty, that threw a screwball probably off the plate down low and away, and Ramirez lined that one into right field.
One and one. Some roster news coming up in the second inning. We'll tell you about Gail Fisher here, and we'll have a report. That involves the Cubs bullpen. In the dirt. You'll probably see some swings and misses at pitches that are not in the strike zone from guys who normally don't do that, but I think that's because not too many hitters want to get to a 2-strike count against Cueto because he does miss bats.
He's kind of sneaky with his fastball. I mentioned it usually sits in the low 90s. Might get up to 94 on a good day, but he does have some late movement. Slider doesn't have a large amount of break, but just enough to get hitters off of his fastball. But when push comes to shove, he is going to challenge the opposing hitters. He likes his heater.
He has never won at Wrigley Field. 0-2, but a 3.29 earned run average. The last 3 times he has faced the Cubs, he has lost. Here's his pitching coach, Dick Pohl. Dome at second, Lee at first, and a 2-2 to Ramirez. Just able to stay alive. As Ramon Hernandez checks to see if there's a scuff mark on his mask.
Better on the mask than on your face. I was looking at the pitching charts from Cueto's last outing against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then also against Houston, his next outing. Get one more look at that foul tip off the face. He was throwing a lot of what they call front door sliders to right-handed hitters. That pitch that starts off the inside corner and tries to break it back to the inside corner.
Phillips goes down to a knee and has plenty of time to throw out Aramis. Cubs get a couple of hits, but they draw a blank in the run column. 0-0. Reds and the Cubs from Wrigley Field.
Flying from Chicago Midway to Minneapolis-St. Paul for business? Southwest Airlines offers a 7 a.m., 8:40, 10:55, 1 p.m., 3, 5 p.m. That's a lot of flights. Southwest Airlines has 8 daily nonstop flights from Chicago Midway to Minneapolis-St. Paul. Now you can fly when you want and do business your way. Book now only at Southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Anyone willing to go on a ride like this, that's not like, that's love. Put it on your credit card, check card, and checks with Cubs banking. Only from Bank of America.
Dames en heren, we gaan beginnen!
Exceptionally brewed for a taste that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field, everyone. I'm Gail Fisher with some breaking news. We all know the Cubs bullpen has struggled this season, and General Manager Jim Hendry wants to do something about it. Hendry made an announcement about a roster move he's making tomorrow.
Yeah, Jeff Samardzija will be here tomorrow. He'll go to the pen. I'll have the roster move for everyone tomorrow. Neil Kotz will not be leaving, and Sean Marshall will not be coming out of the rotation. So we'll give you the final move tomorrow, but it won't be one of those two.
Len Bob, Lou Piniella said he'll use Samardzija in a 6th or 7th inning role, and you heard Jim Hendry say he's not telling us the corresponding move until tomorrow. I'll leave that up to you guys to speculate which player might be designated. We know it's not Neil Kotz.
Thanks, Gail, as Encarnacion flied out to right to start the 2nd. So Samardzija will be here tomorrow. He was working as a starter with AAA Iowa, but 2 innings, 4 innings, and then 6 innings. I think his first outing was actually in relief, but Jeff stretched out, but it sounds, Bob, like he's going to be in short relief, as Lou told us before the game, 6th to the 7th. And the other move, we'll wait till they tell us tomorrow. But, you know, we talked about it going into the regular season. Samardzija, in some ways, was the victim of that numbers game in terms of options and contracts and other sorts of things. High in the air off the bat of Jay Bruce. Bradley gets under it. I don't know how well Milton's going to be able to run. I'm sure he's a little less than 100%, but he had all kinds of time to get under that one.
And he kept his feet moving the entire time. I think that's going to be important for Milton as he learns right field here at Wrigley. You see guys that haven't played here very much. They run to the spot where they think the ball's going to come down. They start camping under it, and then the ball ends up 10 or 15 feet away from him. That time Milton kept his feet moving, just kind of glided over in the area and was in perfect position to make the catch.
So here's Phillips, who was the cleanup man for the Reds every game until tonight. And he hits it foul and out of play. The thing about Samardzija, Bob, is he had good success in that short roll last year.
Well, you know, at some point in his career, he probably will be penciled in as a member of the starting rotation. But given the struggles, as Gail said, of the bullpen in the early going this year, given the success that he had in that role last year, seems to be an obvious move.
Lily's 1-strike pitch, that missed badly.
We certainly are not ones to speculate up here in the booth, but fans at home, just by process of elimination, some of the names that Jim Hendry mentioned, some of the other names in that bullpen.
Soriano's going back and now over a little bit. Wynn helping out as Brandon Phillips is now 0 for his last 22 and 1 for 20 against Ted Lilly. Still no score.
Why do so many people who drive a Honda Accord buy another one? Well, when you have a reputation for quality and reliability, a proven track record for low cost of ownership, and been recognized as the longest-lasting car in its class, is it any wonder the Accord has the highest owner loyalty? Yeah, we came up with the same answer. Go to Edmunds.com for an independent report on the true cost to own an Accord. And then see your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
It's baseball time, Chicago. At Luna, that means double the savings. Your second room is free, and with free financing, Luna's double deal is a steal.
773-202 Luna.
When we first bought our house, it looked terrible. There were dandelions everywhere. It's just completely yellow. Like a bomb went off or something. You've got puffballs everywhere, spreading seed throughout the neighborhood.
He hated being the guy with the ugly yard.
I didn't want to be the bad neighbor on my block. I started using Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. Not only does it take care of the dandelions, it feeds the lawn so it grows thick and strong. If you ignore it, your dandelions can come back.
Neighbors, smile when they see us now and wave.
This is a no dandelion zone.
A beautiful green lawn without all those dandelions. That's the Scott's advantage.
Ticket sales are at a record pace, but plenty of tickets are still available for the 2009 season. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Eddie House from the Boston Celtics is in the house. 7 o'clock tomorrow, as they'll resume that series tied at 1 apiece. Congratulations, Derrick Rose, the NBA Rookie of the Year.
Was there any doubt?
Not in my opinion.
Didn't either.
He's going to win a few more trophies. He'd like to win a team trophy. 1-1 on Giovanni Soto. We both thought a pretty encouraging night at the plate. For Gio last night, he's thinking middle. He goes up the middle. Phillips, however, fantastic at second base and made that look pretty easy as he backhands and throws him out.
You know, Len, my first manager in the big leagues, Frank Robinson, told me one time, you're never going to make a living in the big leagues hitting ground balls to Ozzie Smith. Well, you're not going to make a living hitting ground balls anywhere near Brandon Phillips either. That guy is a vacuum cleaner, tremendous range, a strong arm no matter whether he's on balance or not. Won the Gold Glove last year and figures to win many more.
And he clearly isn't letting his offense affect his defense. I thought he had hit a home run off Ted Lilly, and that ball really died out and left. Wind blowing in. And the 0-1 to the National League's leading batter, Ryan Theriot. 409. He stays at that clip, I think he's going to win the batting title.
Pretty good chance.
He's also hitting .425 against right-handers and over .350 in his career against the Reds. Luis Castillo with a little renaissance with the Mets.
Another bell ringer for Ramon Hernandez behind the plate. Took one off the bat of Ramos Ramirez. This time it's Ryan Theriot rattling his cage back there.
Theriot has now started every game, and Aaron Miles in there for Mike Fontenot tonight. Mike's had a bit of a slow homestand, and Theriot will probably get a day off here not too far down the road. Cubs playing their second of 20 straight without an off day. Derek Lee and Alfonso Soriano, the others to have started every contest. I could see Alfonso maybe getting a day off if Lou wants to keep Michael Hoffpower fresh as Theriot lines out to the right fielder Bruce.
And that's what Lou said in his pregame press conference today. He was asked if 350 at-bats was a reasonable number for Micah Hoffpower to expect. And Lou thought about it for a minute, but then agreed. Yeah, he said, I think we can get him 350 at-bats. You know, especially as the season progresses. You mentioned the streak of 20 straight games. Soriano's going to need a day off at some point. Milton Bradley just coming back from the injury. If he's okay, he figures to play pretty regularly for a while. Yeah, but Derek Lee's going to need an occasional day off, so Lou looking for places to drop Micah Hoffpower in there against right-handed pitching.
And you know, Lou would like to get Reed Johnson in there, but the Cubs keep facing right-handed pitching. Only position player who has not yet started, Joey Gathright. The 0-2 to Aaron Miles. He was late on the swing. Still 2 strikes. For Miles, this is his 4th start at second. The hockey beards. Off his foot.
Oh, Cueto limping off the mound there. Kind of came down awkwardly on his follow-through. Saying he's all right. Reds trainer's going to make a quick trip to the mound to double check on their young right-hander. You'll get a look here. He just kind of landed awkwardly and then fell off to that first base side. Once he realized it was a foul ball at the plate, he limped over toward first base and probably will take a warm-up pitch or two just to make sure he's okay. Or maybe not. If I was the hitter, I'd want him to take a warm-up pitch or two.
Pitcher Lilly on deck. Goes regulation. Those pants down as low as you can get them.
What is regulation anymore? I don't really know.
You have straps.
He's actually got the right one at least tucked underneath and hooked on his back cleat, the heel cleat.
We've talked about this before in the Cubs minor league system. That can't happen.
No, and I think the reason it doesn't happen or can't happen is because somebody in the minor league system did to their pants exactly what Johnny Cueto did. They hooked them underneath the cleats, poked some holes in a pair of pants, and Mary Fleeta said, that's enough of that. Everybody hike them up to the knee.
Little floater, but Gonzalez got out there quickly and makes the catch, and the Cubs go down in order. 5 straight sent down by Cueto. 0-0.
Text Jaguar to the number 24442 to learn about 0% APR and exceptional lease offers.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Improve the look of your home with help from Ideal and Menards. All Ideal garage doors are on sale. This non-insulated raised panel garage door has tongue and groove section joints for a tighter weather seal. A 9x7 is $199. This insulated 5-star model qualifies for an energy tax credit and features dent-resistant construction with steel inside and out. A 9x7 is $337. Or step up to the traditional style of the steel carriage house door, $399.
Save big money at Menards.
An echo is heard from the mountain walls. Forever it stands, and proudly it calls, guiding you on to blue skies everywhere.
For generations, more families have built a lifetime of memories with the confidence that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will continue to be there for all the adventures yet to come.
Find blue skies everywhere.
Want to see a Cubs game from the front row here at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long. Don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com. Check out the CBOE front row seats auction today. Maybe get some cotton candy while you're at it.
Yes, indeed. They'll have a blue tongue in a couple of innings.
7, 8, and 9 for the Reds, starting with Ramon Hernandez, who was 6 out of 14 with 2 homers and 6 walks, versus Ted Lilly. Going back to their American League days. Lilly looking for his 94th career win. He's had 2 wins for every loss as a Cub, 34 and 17. This is his 71st start in a Cubs uniform. Curveball missed the inside corner. It's 2-1. Popped him up right side for Lee. 1 out.
Well, then it's time for our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Let's take a look at Ted Lilly's delivery. You mentioned it's kind of a slow motion. He's got a lot of moving parts. There's a little hesitation right there as he turns his back to the hitter and then hides that ball well. The hitter does not pick it up until it leaves his hand. It's kind of an unusual delivery, but that's Ted Lilly's delivery, America's favorite sandwich delivery, guys, Jimmy John's.
It looks, when he releases the ball, to be pretty free and easy. I'm sure he's working very hard, but it doesn't look like a max effort guy.
No, not at all. And, you know, he shouldn't be.
The 1-0 to Alex Gonzalez, fouled down.
I mean, he can run that fastball in on the hands of right-handed hitters. He can jam a lefty inside off the plate, but his fastball is usually going to sit in the mid to upper 80s, and he really needs to rely on changing speeds and hitting his spots. I think that delivery works perfectly for what Ted Lilly's trying to do out there on the mound.
Looking around the diamond, not only Ted Lilly, but the defenders as well. A lot of guys blowing in their hands on this very cool night. Slow start for Gonzalez. He's got some pop, but he tries to bunt. Diving stop by Lilly from his knees. He threw it away. Gonzalez is going to end up at least at second as Bradley picks it up. A single for Gonzalez and a throwing error on Ted Lilly.
Well, right before the pitch, Aramis Ramirez backed up several steps. Gonzalez must have picked that up out of the corner of his eye and decides to try to bunt for a base hit. That was half a good play by Ted Lilly. Makes a great stop right there. Unfortunately, his throw from his knees pulls Derek Lee off the bag, rolls all the way down into the Reds bullpen. Milton Bradley, fortunately, over there to back up the play and hold Gonzalez at second base.
Now, Cueto just 2 for 48 in his career. He's knocked in 1. Some guys look like hitters, then there are guys like Johnny Cueto, and I would say most pitchers have that look. I mean, that was a big hack. He's got a big leg kick.
Well, he went from one extreme to the other with the Reds starting pitchers. Last night, Micah Owings, one of the best hitting pitchers to come down the pike in a long time, and Johnny Cueto, one of the worst.
And as you always say, anybody with a bat in their hands is dangerous, especially with a runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-1. Cueto pushes a bunt past Lilly, and he's going to have a hit. There you go. And that was a perfect bunt by a guy who's now 3 for 49 in his major league career.
That's a pretty smart piece of hitting by Johnny Cueto. He understands his own limitations. He's got very little chance of getting a base hit off Ted Lilly, but pushes that bunt to the right side. At worst, they throw him out at first base, and the Reds have a runner at third with 2 outs. And in this particular case, he placed it perfectly and was able to leg it out for an infield hit.
The 2 hits for the Reds have totaled about 90 feet, and they have him at the corners with only 1 away. And don't put it past Willie Taveras to do the exact same thing. He might be the best in the game these days in terms of laying down bunt hits, along with guys like Juan Pierre. Here we go. And swinging away. The last 4 years, 05 to 08, 207 infield hits, 110 bunt hits, both numbers leading the majors.
And a guy who rarely grounds into a double play. I mean, the Cubs infield defensively, they really have to think quick if they want to turn a double play on a ground ball off the bat of Willie Taveras. Should have plenty of time at second with Johnny Cueto running, but they're really going to have to rush that turn at second base.
Lee plays in front of Cueto at first, and the breaking ball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Reds grabbed the lead early last night on a Jay Bruce home run, but then the Cubs came right back and eventually pulled away, winning 7-2. That missed. Cubs will try to buck a trend tonight, partner. In games in which they have not committed an error, they're 8-0. In games in which they have committed an error, they're 0-4. So they'll try to change that up after the Ted Lilly throwing error. Manager looking for some action. How about a double play?
Contagious, makes me want to yawn.
The 2-1. Tip strike 2.
It'll be interesting to see if Taveras hits a fly ball to the outfield. We've seen the wind really knock down some fly balls already in this game, and the runner at third base, Alex Gonzalez, not the fastest guy in the world. It'll be interesting on a shallow fly ball to the outfield to see if the Reds take a chance.
He's coming off knee surgery too. Full count. 3-2 with 1 out. Hairston on deck. It's like Gio wants a fastball in. Here's a pitch. Out into left center. Soriano will get there. Gonzalez tagging. Took a look back at Soriano. Alfonso not going to throw toward the plate. Really didn't have momentum heading that way. And it'll be a sacrifice fly for Taveras. Well, that's too bad. If that ball had been hit right at Soriano, there might have been a play.
Well, just a shallow fly ball, but unfortunately for the Cubs, hit in a good spot for the Reds over in the gap in left center. Looked like Fonzie took a quick peek to Fukudome because he had the better angle coming over from center field, but couldn't get there in time. And when Fonzie made that catch moving to his left, as you said, no momentum going toward the plate, no chance to throw the runner out. Now, if he could give way to Fukudome on that play, now Kosuke's got some momentum coming toward the dish and probably would have at least had a shot to throw out Gonzalez at the plate.
And a very accurate throwing arm. Soriano, by the way, has already nailed 2 base runners from left. Cueto's still at first, and the 1-0 to Hairston. He was a little late. Jerry's from Naperville, went to Naperville North High School. Comes from a great baseball family. He participated in the World Baseball Classic for Team Mexico. Down to first, and he held up, according to James Ford. I think Jerry's mom is from Mexico.
That curveball almost makes its way back to the outside corner, but you can see Giovanni Soto had to reach across his body just enough. Pitch was just off the corner. It looks like he's struggling with that curveball a little bit in the early going tonight.
High, deep fly ball for Hairston. Kosuke calls off Soriano, and that's the inning. They do get a run on the sacrifice fly by Willie Taveras, and the Reds lead 1-0.
Where's the light?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Okay, I get it. These 10 sprinkles represent our friends and family, the 10 people we can call whatever network they're on without using our minutes.
That's included, no extra cost.
Then these
would be like 80 million people on Verizon Wireless we can also call?
Yep, also included.
Do you want whipped cream?
Save minutes and money with Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to 10 out-of-network numbers, even landlines. Plus, get America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And now get a touchscreen Crave for just $49.99.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Tomorrow, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs flood Wrigley Field to prove that Jay Bruce and the Cincinnati Reds that blue is the primary color in town. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live. Cubs Reds in HD. Tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Tomorrow, another huge day here on Comcast Sportsnet. We'll have coverage at 12:30 as the Cubs will host the Reds in the series finale. At 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, the White Sox will slug it out with the Orioles in Baltimore. And at 6:30 here on Comcast Sportsnet, the Bulls are back on the west side, Game 3 against the Celtics. Another huge day of action beginning tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Good luck to the Blackhawks tonight in Calgary.
I like it.
Yeah, give it to a kid.
Give it to a kid.
Raleigh Fingers looks old.
I'd still bring him in to get a right-hander out.
Oh, yeah. Ted Lilly to start the third with the Cubs trailing by a run. Nothing in one on Lilly. Tapper to third, it's foul. Well, what a start to Johnny Cueto's career last year. I remember hearing about him before we saw him. His first 2 major league starts, he didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 18.
His command has not been nearly as good as it was in his first 2 major league starts. He can lose it on occasion, as I mentioned before. He tends to overthrow when he gets to 2 strikes, really wants to finish off the hitter with a punch out. And that's a common thing for a young pitcher with a good arm like Johnny Cueto. He'll learn at some point in his career that it's a lot easier to let your defense make plays behind you.
They're going to Bob will do it against the opposing pitcher, and Gonzalez still had time to get Ted Lilly. Well, as Alfonso Soriano comes up, a perennial All-Star, you have a chance to vote. The All-Star game will be in St. Louis in July. You can visit Cubs.com to cast your vote. There's my ballot right there.
Yeah, just turn in your lineup card.
I'll tell you what it is, but all those Cubs are on that official ballot.
I really have mixed feelings about that All-Star game, and I never did when I was just a player or a coach, but after I managed for a few years, I really thought about it a lot. And as big of a thrill as it is for a player to play in an All-Star game, and a great honor to get voted in by the fans or selected by the manager, when you're a team that's looking forward to the postseason, your guys can use those days off at the All-Star break.
A couple of guys who are used to being All-Stars as well. Alfonso Soriano's been an All-Star 7 straight years. Cubs had 8 last year, right? Plus Lou Piniella. Giovanni Soto was there starting for the National League. Three and 1.
A little extra mustard on that fastball from Johnny Cueto. Humped it up there 95 miles an hour on the 3-0 count. Probably thought Soriano had the green light.
does there, and he rolls to Gonzalez, scoops it up. How about this note from Elias regarding Rich Harden, who struck out 8 in 6 innings last night to get the win, his first of the year. 26 strikeouts for Harden in 15 innings. No other pitcher in the modern era, going back to 1900, has had that many strikeouts in as few innings as Rich Harden in a 3-start span in one season. 26 punch-outs in 15 innings.
Well, that's the strange thing about Rich Harden. Even on those rare days when he doesn't have his best stuff, whether his command eludes him or his fastball isn't there, his changeup isn't quite good enough, he still gets a lot of punch-outs.
You know, it makes me curious now to know how many strikeouts Kerry Wood had in the outings around the 20 strikeout game. It's not that many. I said 15 innings, so I guess it would be the 6 innings around the 9 in which he struck out 20 Astros. You think we'll ever see in the history of this game, hopefully, you know, century after century after century, where a pitcher will strike out all 27? If that's possible at this level, no. Kerry got close, 20 out of 27. Three and 2 on Kosuke.
I know I don't want to be in the lineup if somebody does. That'd be embarrassing. Strike out everybody.
I don't have the name or where he pitches, but isn't there a high school pitcher who's thrown 4 straight no-hitters? I saw it on the highlights the other night.
Now that I could see at the high school level. You get a physically gifted young athlete.
Deep to left, Hairston gets right to the spot. And that's the inning. Nicely done by Jerry Hairston, who's learned the outfield the last few years after playing in the infield for many. 1-0, Reds.
Thank you. How you doing?
Oh, fine, thank you.
9, please.
Don't like stopping? Southwest is announcing nonstop service from Chicago Midway to 2 new cities with 5 daily nonstops to New York LaGuardia starting June 28th and Boston Logan starting August 16th. Book now at southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees.
You know what? I'm gonna go 2 more.
I'm in for another.
Freddie?
I don't like that face.
Wow, Webby's out.
I'm gonna put in 4 black.
Okay.
Always been on black.
I'll raise the pot. Quit acting like a baby, take your shots, and be quiet about it.
Who says old school can't go new school? ChicagoSportsWebio.com. It's a beautiful thing.
We're testing a new meal from PJ Bland's. Thoughts? That's cardboard. What if it came with a salad? Still cardboard. What if we threw in a dessert?
If you're going out to eat, make sure it's for something you'll love eating. Introducing Chili's 10 entrees for under $7 each. Like our Honey Chipotle Crispers. We take the time to hand batter each one. That's what makes them crispy pieces of heaven on earth. 10 perfectly portioned entrees for under $7. Right now at Chili's. Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs are back on the West Side as the Bulls try to defend home court against the defending NBA champion Celtics. Neil Funk and Stacey King have the call as your hometown network brings you Game 3 tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Aflac trivia question time. Between the Cubs and Reds coaching staffs and rosters, so currently, how many men are in the park who were part of the 2003 Chicago Cubs? We'll have the answer coming up.
I will officially guess a bunch.
a lot. Little tapper by Joey Votto. Lilly handles this one cleanly. The run he gave up in the third was unearned because of his throwing error. Encarnacion batting cleanup for the first time here in 2009. I tell you, Dusty didn't have a lot of choices. I mean, you look at Encarnacion in the 170s, but the incumbent Brandon Phillips came in at 143. His best hitter is his number 3 hitter, Joey Votto. He'd be the other choice, maybe Jay Bruce, but he's at 211 and there's a lefty on the mound. Encarnacion skies one on the infield. Two quick outs for individual health insurance from a name you can trust. Call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at 866-575-BLUE. No hitter for Ted Lilly tonight. He's given up 2 infield singles, but he held the Rockies without a hit through 6 2/3. His last time out, 4th time he's taken a no-hitter into the 7th. 6 other active pitchers have done that. 1-1 on Jay Bruce. Randy Johnson, Tim Wakefield, Jamie Moyer, Derek Lowe, Kevin Millwood, Carlos Zambrano. I don't know if you saw the note, but I'm sure there are fans out there wondering, well, how many times has Carlos taken a no-hitter into the 7th? 6 times in his career. Randy Johnson 14 times. And how many no-nos? He has 2, I think, right?
I believe 2.
One with Seattle and then the perfect game. He did it like 13 years apart. Lilly did not beat Bruce to first base. And Bruce ends up with an infield hit. They have 3 of them in the last 2 innings.
Just a little too deliberate getting over there to cover the bag. Derek Lee got him the ball in pretty good shape. Ted had to kind of break up his steps and reach for that bag with his right foot. That extra step he took right there gave Bruce just enough of an opening to beat Ted to the bag. It was very close.
High-speed shutter cam shows that that's probably the right call by James Hoy. Looked like a tie. As close to a tie as you could get. You know my theory, and this matchup worries me a little bit tonight.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
Oh, for what'd you say, 20?
22 now. 22. And he hit one deep to left his first time up. He has 1 career hit against Lilly and now 20 at-bats, and it was a homer. Brandon Phillips is going to hit. And the Cubs hope it starts on Friday.
Yeah. Dusty took him out of that 4 spot in the lineup where he had hit every game so far this season. Just try to take a little pressure off, move him down a little bit in the order.
I think the Reds waited a little longer to release their lineup so Dusty could talk to Brandon Phillips, which is a common courtesy. Let him know he was going to move him down a couple of spots. Big lead over there by Jay Bruce. Not going anywhere. Curveball strike, 0-2.
Hey, you get a little concerned when you see that big lead at first base, and when Ted Lilly first picked up his right foot, Bruce was breaking back toward first base. We've talked about it in the past, the one-way lead where you get a maximum lead plus 1 more step, and every time that pitcher moves, you go back to first base. And then The play off of that is to shorten up your lead and break for second on the first movement. I think he's just caught in between over there, to tell you the truth. Now a good base runner can really sell that one-way lead leading into a first move play. You get that huge lead and you continually break back to first base and act like you just can't get a good read on the pitcher, and then ultimately you shorten up your lead. The pitcher sees you shorten up your lead. He assumes you're going to stay there. You've shown him some good moves over to first base, and then you take off on first move. You have to be a little bit of a salesman to be a good base stealer.
Pause now, the pitch, and it's 2-2. You gotta love this game. You can't go to your mouth normally when you're on the dirt of the mound. Mark Berry at third, but on a cold night you can blow into your hand. Well, who says you can't blow into your hand while spitting?
Yeah, right up until the moment. Yeah, you see Ted, he's doing it as he's getting his sign.
Not saying he's doing that, but you know, veteran pitcher can work on that throughout the winter, right? See if it works.
Well, I mean, veteran pitchers, they know how to lick their fingers and wipe their palm on their pants leg. Still have some moisture on their throwing fingers. There's ways to get around it. I'm not saying that anybody does. It's kind of funny in this game tonight. Ted Lilly, a left-hander, working from the far third base side of the rubber, and Johnny Cueto, a right-hander, pitches from the same spot, the far third base side.
Still 2-2.
More of a comfort thing than anything else, but there is a small change in angle. Just moving from the middle of the rubber to one corner or the other changes the angle of that pitch as it gets into the hitting zone. And for Ted Lilly, he feels like his pitches are most effective when he works from that third base side. He can run the fastball into the righties. He can nip that outside corner with a breaking ball as a changeup.
Dug the ball into the webbing of his hands. After rubbing it up, he's going to throw over to first again. Hit into right center, and that's going to allow Bruce to move to third, where he's stopped by Berry. Not the best line for Bruce as he rounded second. Well, he didn't really round second. I mean, he took a straight line to second base and then saw the ball roll right past him.
And that's not a hit and run. With 2 strikes on the hitter, you don't use a hit and run. That's just smart hitting on the part of Brandon Phillips. Jay Bruce broke for second. You could clearly see Aaron Miles was the cover man at second base when he evacuated his position. Brandon Phillips just rolled one right through the vacated hole.
The way it's going for Phillips, I thought that ball was going to hit Bruce. That would have ended the inning. It's a first hit to get to the outfield. Now, Bob, as a base runner in this spot, when you hear contact with 2 outs,
hey, there's no
need at his head.
Yeah, you don't need to. With 2 outs, you're just going to run. I mean, it's nice to know where the baseball is, but that's why you have a third base coach. It was kind of an awkward turn at second base for Jay Bruce. Your first concern as a base stealer is to take the most direct line to that next base, and once that ball's put into play, you just have to do the best you can to turn that corner and advance on to third base. Well, with 2 outs, if the ball's hit in the air, you just keep running. If it's hit on the ground, you just keep running. But you certainly don't want to watch the defensive team and expect them to help you at all as to where the ball is. That's why you have to pick up your third base coach if there's any doubt in your mind where the batted ball went.
Ball at 2 strikes on Hernandez, who popped to first. His initial time up. Crowd getting into it. Like to see Lilly with a strikeout. He struck out the first batter of the game and hasn't had one since. Phillips runs from first. He'll take second without a throw. Phillips, that's his second stolen base of the year, and the Cubs now have only allowed 3.
And they pretty much conceded that when neither middle infielder broke to cover the bag at second. Alan Trammell, who aligns the infield defense, told the guys just to hold their position. They didn't want to open another hole.
Bounding ball to Terrio. No problem. Back-to-back 2-out hits. They made Lilly work to get out of it, but he did. And it's still 1-0 Cincinnati. Middle of the order coming up.
When a major hospital wanted to add on to their benefits package at no direct cost to the company, their very first word was... Find out more at AFLACforbusiness.com.
Buy a ticket to Blue Man Group and receive a free ticket to a Cubs game May 1st through 5th. Call 1-800-BLUE-MAN for details.
Whether you're man or mutants, Papa John's knows you'll love the new XL Extreme Cheese Pizza. Extra large, 30% larger than Papa John's large. Extra cheesy, nearly 1 pound of cheese. And an extremely good value, just $11.99. Call or click papajohns.com. It's easy. The XL Extreme Cheese Pizza, only $11.99. See the first movie event of the summer, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, only in theaters.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Morning, Mike.
Morning, Bill.
Morning.
Morning.
I think I might need some better brakes.
You need our Midas Secure Stop brake service.
Really?
Yeah. Exceptional stopping power combined with the security of a 55-point brake inspection.
And the pads are lifetime guaranteed.
So next time this one...
That's why we call it Secure Stop.
Trust the Midas touch.
Let's answer the Aflac trivia question. You look at the Cubs and Reds rosters, coaches. How many men in the park were part of the 03 Cubs? A lot of them are with the Reds. 6. So you have Larry Rothschild, Aramis Ramirez, and Carlos Zambrano, but 3 with the coaching staff of the Reds. Manager Dusty Baker, Dick Cole, and Juan Porky Lopez.
Juan Lopez's son Jackie, a real good young high school ball player down in Florida, was picked as one of the best players in the country at his level.
Talking with Dusty before the game. His son Darren had 3 hits in his game yesterday. Derek Lee with a base hit. It starts the bottom of the 4th. He's 2 for 2. Yeah, not a big surprise. Darren is a really good baseball player. He loves this game. I saw Darren at the ballpark a lot.
Oh, Derek picking on a fastball that was inside off the plate. Ramon Hernandez was reaching way inside. Derek pulled his hands in. Got jammed a little bit, but strong enough to muscle it out into shallow center field for a knock.
Now Milton Bradley in the lineup for the first time since April 12th, when he suffered the groin injury. Hi, Mike. How did he know he was going to be in?
The blankets. think a blanket would probably come in more handy tonight than a foam finger.
Yeah, I would think so.
Mike's all about marketing. He's got to figure it out.
I'll tell you, you and I know a lot of the vendors in and around Wrigley Field. Good time to be a vendor here in Chicago with the Bulls and Blackhawks in the playoffs. Baseball season underway. Tough times economically, but everybody feels better when the sports teams are doing well. Oh, man, Johnny Cueto very fortunate to get out of the way as Bradley grounds out. Oh, man, that was very dangerous. I don't know if I've seen a portion of the barrel of the bat go at a defender or anyone else on the field that hard and that dangerously.
Well, and Cueto is running over to cover first base. That's his first instinct, but then he sees that barrel of the bat and decides, I'm going to get down. Let Joey Votto handle that ball by himself over there at first base. Peripheral vision for a pitcher. I tell you, you're following the ground ball to the right side. You know you have to get over and cover first, but out of your peripheral vision, you see the barrel of the bat coming out there. Fortunately for Johnny Cueto, he was able to get out of the way.
Dave Menard's big lumber stat. Ramirez with a hot homestand. He's knocked in 8. Chance to tie it or give the Cubs the lead here, but he won't get that chance. Gets hit in the backside.
Another look at a fastball that never was close to the strike zone. Looked like it caught him just beside the pocket there on the left hip. We talked about Cueto and that low to mid-90s fastball. This is not the kind of night you want to take one for the team, but Ramirez will jog on down to first base.
Yeah, Ramos is going to feel that one for a while.
That's the second time that Cueto has plunked a Ramos Ramirez. With now 9 at-bats career.
2 on for Soto. Wide for ball 1. 1-0 Reds. They got their run in the 3rd. Ground ball to third base. Dropped by Encarnacion. He will tag Derek Lee, but it could have been a double play. Encarnacion looking at the ball. It would have been a little slippery. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Gio.
It looked like he just got a little bit ahead of himself right there. Was looking towards second base. Didn't see the ball all the way into the glove. And he's standing right in the baseline. Derek Lee either had to run into the tag or try to go around him. And once he went around him, he's out of the baseline anyway.
Well, the guy you want at the plate. With piling up hits left and right. Let's see, though, if Aramis can score on a single. One thing that we didn't point out, but I noticed on the Bradley ground out with the barrel of the bat flying, is Milton didn't look great running down the line. Really seemed to be favoring the groin.
And that could be because he realized it was going to be an easy out at first base and didn't want to overextend himself.
Missed on the slider. 2-1. Aaron Harang, Carlos Zambrano tomorrow, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Pre-game coverage at 12:30. First pitch at 1:20. Should be a beautiful day.
Cueto slowly sneaking up on that 75 pitch mark. Just went over the 70 pitch mark. As I mentioned, the first 25 pitches of the game, opponents batting .255 against him in his career. Pitch 26 through 50. It drops down to .245, but then 51 to 75, it jumps up to .276. And then from 75 on up, even higher, .302.
Runners will get a head start. That helps, and particularly with Aramis. They're getting hit on the hip as he takes his leadoff second base. There they go, the 3-2. He struck him out. We've completed 4 from Wrigley Field. Reds 1, Cubs nothing.
The inherent value of a Range Rover Sport easily handles the ups and downs of sand, mud, and the economy. Range Rover Sport, the luxury that's more than a luxury.
Sit right here and have another beer in Mexico. Let the warm air melt these blues away.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by American Chartered Bank, the bank for your business. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Bank of America. Want to show the world it's not like, it's love. Get MLB banking only from Bank of America.
Time now for the Coors Light freeze game. Going back to last night, Joey Votto stole second base in the 4th inning. We thought Ryan Theriot may have gotten him on the hand. And too close to call.
Oh, really close to call out there. And a tough play for an umpire. He's used to training his eyes on that base, watching for a tag. And when you see a high throw up the baseline like that, it's a tough call to make. You can see even with the freeze cam, it was tough to tell whether there was contact between the glove and Joey Votto's hand.
Alex Gonzalez turns on one left field corner, and it's just foul. Very little room down there between the sidewall and the foul line.
Get another look as that ball gets down there in that left field corner and just does squeak into that area between the foul line and the wall. And Alex Gonzalez stood at home plate for a long time watching the flight of that baseball. With the way the wind has played tricks on batted balls in this series, you would think everybody would hit the ball and just run.
Gonzalez, known for his defense, he's a couple hits away now from 1,000 in his major league career. And actually the swing on the deep fly is reminiscent of the game-ending home run he hit in the World Series. That was against the Yankees in 2003. Just snuck it over the fence and left. And it wasn't called Dolphin Stadium, Pro Player Stadium at the time. It tied the series up at 2-2. Game 4 off Jeff Weaver of the Yankees in the 12th. And it he has the distinction of hitting the first game-winning homer against the Yankees in the World Series since Bill Mazeroski ended the 1960 series. That's the thing about sports, especially when it comes to postseason. A guy like Gonzalez, you think defense, but a lot of people think World Series home run. Bill Buckner, batting title, pretty good defensive player. Everybody thinks of the play in '86 against the Mets as Gonzalez is thrown out. You just don't know.
Yeah. Bucky Dent, even though that wasn't a World Series, that was a big postseason home run by a guy that wasn't known for his offense, let alone his power. I'll tell you the best, though, had to be Joe Carter off of Mitch Williams. I mean, a walk-off home run in Game 7 of the World Series. It doesn't get any better than that. That's the ultimate.
In front of the home fans.
Well, Joe Carter was known for his offense.
Yes, he was. Great call by the late Tom Cheek. Never hit a bigger home run in your life. You'll touch them all, Joe, right?
Cueto has all the motions of a hitter. You see the back of his left hand going out toward the pitcher. I want to get through the ball. I'm not fooling anybody.
Bradley coming over, but he won't get there in time. Milton's he's clearly not 100%.
You watch a player chasing a ball in foul territory like that, and you expect to see some kind of gear shifting. And Milton never got it out of first gear, just kind of was jogging over there. I'm not sure he thought he could get there in time anyway. But just not quite back to 100% yet.
Lou was asked about Bradley in the late innings, saying, would you take him out for defense? And Lou seemed to indicate that the answer was no. He would leave him in. And he'll have another chance here, and nobody will get there. 3 Cubs in the vicinity, but Johnny Cueto is now 2 for 2.
We talk all the time about how this game of baseball is all about adjustments, a series of adjustments, and I have to think, based on what Lou has seen from Milton Bradley in right field tonight, if the Cubs do have a lead late, I think we're going to see a defensive replacement. I mean, he just doesn't have any acceleration out there in right field. Once again, a ball I don't think he would have had a play on, but was very slow getting to the spot.
We talked all night last night about Micah Owings, and he didn't have a hit. Talked about how unhitterish Johnny Cueto is, and that one dropped by Lilly. A sacrifice and an error. But that's one of those plays, Bob. Look, I'm not taking Ted off the hook here, but with Willie Taveras, you have to rush. You have to hurry. And that's not the first time that's happened. It won't be the last with Willie Taveras laying down a bunt. It'll be a sacrifice and an error. That's a play he should make. No question about it.
Yep. And Ted will be the first one to tell you he should make that play. It's a little tougher for the left-handed pitcher because, as you could clearly see, Ted had his back turned to the runner. He knows Taveras is very fast. He knows he's got to hurry. And he's got to turn his back to him before he makes that throw to first base. So the combination of those things just caused Ted to drop that ball out of his glove.
He's made 2 errors. The first one led to an unearned run. And he faces Hairston with 2 on and 1 out. Lilly very deliberate. Always takes his time. Spins around, sending Cueto back to second. You know, I don't know the answer to this question. Obviously, pitchers can wear jackets. Are they the only runners allowed to wear a jacket?
That is a good question.
Willie Taveras said, "I'm cold. I want to wear a jacket." Well, I wonder if they'd let him.
Just as cold for Willie Taveras as it is for Johnny Cueto.
Sure. Absolutely.
Of course, we know the reason Cueto trying to keep that right arm and right shoulder warm while he's out there running the bases.
Terrio will get one. They get two. How about that? Terrio and Miles with a double play. And that ends the threat. A single by the pitcher. An error by the Cubs pitcher, but the defense helping out Ted Lilly. Still 1-0 Reds.
Want to see all the action from the front row? Now you can with the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. Front row seats will be auctioned off to each game all season long. For more information, visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. The best seats are always a click away.
What's your idea of financial security?
My idea of financial security? Enough for an early retirement.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Helping my grandkids with college.
Protection for my new driver.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
It's my last night in town. I want to find a nice restaurant to take you guys.
How about the deli?
We were just there for lunch.
So they can't make dinner?
Dex, I want to find a nice restaurant.
And in the neighborhood.
And in the neighborhood.
Bernacci's on Bayside Drive. Reviewers gave it 5 stars.
What about a senior's discount?
Yes.
And not too late.
Dinner service starts at 4:30.
I get cranky when I eat late.
He does. He gets cranky.
The new DexKnows.com. Smarter than your average search. More exact, more detailed, a lot more local. DexKnows.com.
Mark Shanowski in our Comcast Sportsnet studio. Stay tuned after the final out for Cubs postgame live. Gail Fisher and Todd Hollandsworth will break down all the key plays from Wrigley Field. They'll also bring you Lou Pinella's news conference. And don't forget, we've got tomorrow afternoon's series finale between the Cubs and Reds here on Comcast Sportsnet. Pre-game live kicks off our coverage at 12:30. Now let's get you back out to Wrigley Field and rejoin Len and Bob.
Thanks, Mark. It's 1-0. The Reds with the lead. Want to show the world it's not like, it's love? Put your favorite team logo out there for everybody to see with MLB banking only from Bank of America. Official bank of Major League Baseball. Visit bankofamerica.com/MLB. Much nicer night out here at the ballpark, although officially only 5 degrees warmer. Not damp. That helps.
Yeah. Huge help.
Aaron Miles, a quick turn after he got the nice flip from Brian Terrio. This was a beauty.
Great double play, and one of the toughest double plays for a second baseman. Look at Aaron Miles, has his back completely turned to first base and the runner, but still has his presence of mind to wheel around and throw a strike to Derek Lee to complete that double play. I mean, this is a terrifying prospect for a second baseman. You know that runner's bearing down on you. You have to make sure to catch the throw from the shortstop and then wheels almost blindly to throw that ball to first base right on line to Derek Lee to complete the double play.
He got a nice feed from Terrio. Easy play for Phillips. It'll be Soriano with 2 outs.
And this is a situation you really don't like to put Alfonso Soriano in. A couple of really quick outs here in this inning. You don't want the Reds to get back in that dugout this quickly. We'd like to see Soriano take a couple of pitches in this at bat, but we know that's not his forte. I mean, usually a leadoff hitter will stand in that on-deck circle until that pitcher gets back into the dugout. But Alfonso is so anxious to get up there and get his hacks in. Ted Lilly barely made it back to the dugout. He was already standing in the batter's box, and he does take the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Did you see that fan? He had a face in the back of his head.
That's my science teacher.
Soriano with an 8-game hitting streak coming in. Ball and 2 strikes. Oh, I see. The jersey's on backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that hip-hop band Crisscross? They wear their shirts, if I remember correctly.
Good call. A wind in the 2-2 pitch. Another ground ball in the hole and through. Perfectly placed. 9-game streak for Soriano.
Well, and we talk all the time about a top-spin fly ball into the outfield. Well, Soriano hits top-spin grounders. That ball just accelerated right on through the left side. Fooled a little bit by that slider down low and away. Kind of got down and around that ball. Had a lot of topspin as it shot through that left side.
Fukudome 1 for 2. Cubs have won 3 straight. Second time they've won 3 in a row. Driven right center. Taveras runs well, and he's able to flag it down. Not every center fielder makes that catch, but Willie Taveras usually does. 1-0.
Accent your home with help from Larson and Menards. The Brookfield Midview model features screen away, comes in 32 or 36-inch widths, and includes color-matched hardware. Just $159. Or beautify your home with this First Impressions Full View model. Choose from a variety of hardware options. Just pick the door and choose the hardware, only $199. Plus, there's 0 payments and no interest till 2010 when you use your Menards Big Card.
Save big money at Menards.
Anyone willing to go on a ride like this, that's not like, that's love. Put it on your credit card, check card, and checks with Cubs Banking. Only from Bank of America.
I discovered the problem growing grass seed is me.
I'm a grass seed failure.
Well, I forget to water, and the seed dries out. And once it's dry, it's dead, and once it's dead, it's just...
Now there's Scott's Turf Builder Grass Seed with Water Smart. Scott's best seed wrapped in a super absorbent coating that actually holds water to keep the seed moist.
So now I don't have to worry if I miss a day of watering.
The Scott's looks greener and thicker, looks beautiful, flush. It's me-proof, in a way.
Seed guaranteed to succeed. That's the Scott's advantage.
Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs are back on the West Side as the Bulls try to defend home court against the defending NBA champion Celtics. Neil Funk and Stacey King have the call as your hometown network brings you Game 3 tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Saturday night, Game 5. Joel Quenneville and the Blackhawks back at the Madhouse on Madison with hopes of putting out the Flames. Coverage starts with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Blackhawks and Flames Game 5 Saturday night at 7. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. It's an exciting series with the Game 4 tonight. Ted Lilly working in the 6th to Joey Votto. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 Reds. Go Hawks.
That guy covered up with a piece of carpet. What was that? Oh. Whatever it is, it looks warm.
Fair ball to Lee. And he'll take it unassisted. I want to send out our deepest condolences to the O'Brien family on the loss of Billy O'Brien, a great friend of everyone over at Murphy's Bleachers. He was a retired Chicago policeman, a huge Cubs fan. And we're thinking about Billy, and again, our condolences to his family. In there on Encarnacion.
Ted Lilly just has not been able to find a good release point for that big overhand curveball. He's tried it about 10 times in this game. He's thrown it for a strike once.
Well, this is his first start in 9 days. He was supposed to go Sunday, but the game was rained out. Cubs decided to stick with Rich Harden last night. Slot Lilly in tonight.
And there's no question that curveball is a feel pitch. And we've seen Ted Lilly on days when he has a good feel for it. He'll go to it a lot, especially in 2-strike situations. And we've also seen games where, like tonight, he just can't seem to find a good release point, so he relies more on his slider and his straight changeup for his off-speed pitches.
Ted had been battling a cold. Briefly talked to him yesterday, said he was feeling a lot better. Tolman Fields with home runs for the White Sox tonight. They're blowing out the Orioles 8-1 in the 9th. Kansas City leads at Cleveland 2-0 in the last of the 9th. Toronto 7, Texas 4. Bottom of the 8th, the Blue Jays at 10-5. Boston in game 2 of a day-night doubleheader 7-3 over the Twins in the bottom of the 6th. They won 10-1 in the first game that actually only went 7 innings. Has rained. Lilly with a strikeout. That's his first one since the first inning.
Him on a slider. A lot of free swinging by this Reds ball club. We talked about their offensive struggles coming into this series. A lot of the hitters that have been expanding their own strike zone, swinging at a lot of pitches out of the zone. And from what I've seen, a lot of big swinging. A lot of guys look like they're trying to hit home runs. And certainly the conditions here tonight would call for more of a line drive ground ball swing to have any kind of success at all.
Front door breaking ball. 0-2 on Jay Bruce. Yankees beat Oakland 9-7 as they went extras. Popped them up. Terrio makes the catch. That game is ended in the 14th in the Bronx. Cubs trying to get on the board against Johnny Cueto. Will go to the bottom of the 6th. Pitchers duel tonight, 1-0 Reds.
Your sunbeams, they blinded me in life. Me standing here now home.
With Southwest Airlines daily flights and low fares to Orlando, you'll smile too. Book now only at southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Every weeknight at 5:30, only one show covers Chicago sports the right way. Chicago Tribune Live. Join host David Kaplan in a nightly roundtable. Chicago Tribune Live. Weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. Everything you need to strengthen teeth, help prevent cavities, and kill germs. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care, the most complete mouthwash.
Plan your next corporate or social function in one of Wrigley Field's private party accommodations. Wrigley Field offers a variety of private catered opportunities to host and impress your group. The Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments has 4 convenient rental plans to fit all budgets and needs. For larger parties of 75 to 100, the Bud Light Batter's Eye, located in center field, provides a unique view of the game. All private party accommodations provide generous food and beverage packages, as well as VIP parking. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
Kawasaki's Greenlight event is on. Save up to $1,500 on ATVs, street bikes, watercraft, RUVs, dirt bikes, and more. This event ends soon. Head to your Kawasaki dealer today.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for just $6. For more details, visit Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000.
Cueto working quickly, 1-1 to Derek Lee. He has 2 singles. Half of the Cubs hits. The other hits, Pucadome and Soriano. Hit foul. It's a game-ending 2-run homer by Melky Cabrera for the Yanks today in that win over Oakland. Final now in Cleveland. Royals 2, Indians nothing. Bruce over the mound, and he caught it. What a play. That is a fantastic catch by Jay Bruce. He had a long run and had to navigate over the bullpen mound.
Well, for a guy that's had limited playing time at the big league level, period, but especially here at Wrigley Field, you can see him kind of tiptoeing over that mound, got the glove up in the air, extended where he thought the ball was going to be. It makes a great play.
Well, you can't do it much better than that in this ballpark. Bradley hits one really hard up into the seats. I think everybody's okay. And that was a rocket. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
4 more home runs at Yankee Stadium today.
Yeah, unbelievable. Sabathia gave up some runs. Seven runs, 6 earned, and 6 2/3. He has a 4.81 ERA. Three and 2 to Bradley. Braves shut out the Nationals 1-0. They got a run in the 9th to win it. See how they scored. 3-2 pitch called strike 3. Bradley's been run up a couple of times in this one. He's 0 for 3. And frustration, I'm sure, starting to mount off off to a very slow start.
Now this one on a high breaking ball, you see Hernandez goes up above his mask to catch that ball and then pulls it back down toward the middle of the strike zone and gets a call from Lance Barksdale.
Off the inside corner. A bases loaded walk to Kelly Johnson in the ninth, sending the Braves to a win. Jair Jurgens got a no decision. He has a 1.42 ERA, 7 2/3 no runs for the Braves. That's a strike. It's 2-1 on Aramis. Brewers beat the Phillies 3-1 to improve to 5-9. J.J. Hardy hit his third home run. Jason Worth his second for the Phillies. Braden Looper got the win. He's 2-0, 6 shutout innings. He's off to a really good start. Joe Blanton not off to a good start for the Phillies. He has a 7.31 ERA. He's 0-2. Todd Coffey got the save. The second. Ground ball backhanded by Encarnacion. The throw is right on the money. Seen some really good defensive plays on both sides. 2 in this inning. One by Bruce. That one by Encarnacion. 1-0 to the 7th.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Heineken. Give yourself a good name.
Dames en heren, we gaan beginnen!
Exceptionally brewed for a taste that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
Check.
Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
Right now, you can get 5 Arby's regular roast beef sandwiches for just $5.95. It's our delicious, freshly sliced classic roast beef piled high on a hot toasted bun. Stop by today and pick up 5 Arby's regulars for the amazing price of just $5.95. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
We like to establish our dominance with a fastball.
Make sure you're getting up over your front leg.
We throw inside when we have to. And bunts. Now you know we're allergic to peanuts.
The Major League's down to the minor details. Major League Baseball 2K9. Rated E for everyone.
Tomorrow, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs flood Wrigley Field to prove that Jay Bruce and the Cincinnati Reds that blue is the primary color in town. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live. Cubs Reds in HD. Tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Tomorrow, another huge day here on Comcast Sportsnet. 12:30 Cubs coverage. Cubs and the Reds from Wrigley. At 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, White Sox and Orioles in Baltimore. At 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. The Bulls are back on the west side. Should be a great atmosphere. Game 3. Series tied at 1-1 against the Celtics. Another huge day of action beginning tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. We're off to the 7th. Lilly versus Phillips. Bouncer foul. 5 hits for the Reds. The Cubs have 4. The stretch tonight will be conducted by the Bolingbrook High School girls basketball team, the 4A state champs. They defeated Whitney Young. We had the boys team from Whitney Young last night, the state champs. But tonight it's the Lady Raiders. High pop for Miles. Kept moving his feet and made the catch.
It seems like such a simple little thing, Len, but it makes all the difference in the world when you've got the wind swirling around the way it is tonight. You can make those adjustments much easier if your feet are moving than if you're stationary. Might look kind of funny sometimes, but it's what the situation calls for.
Swing and a miss by Ramon Hernandez. 0 for 2. Pop out and a ground out. That ball is crushed by Hernandez, and it's going to stay in for Soriano. That ball had home run written all over it. Ted Lilly going, all right, thank you, wind. Woo. That reminded me of Derek's ball last night. Should have been a 3-run homer.
That's a hanging changeup from Ted Lilly. Belt high out over the plate. Hernandez gets full extension, squares it right up on the barrel of the bat, pulls it to left field, and there is no action out there at all. Soriano about 1 step shy of the vines out there in left field, makes the catch.
Alex Gonzalez with 2 outs. Hit foul. Satavia Taylor, Candace Nevels, Morgan Tuck from Bolingbrook. Head coach Tony Smith, athletic director Alec Anderson handling the stretch. Squibb to first, easy play for Lee, and it's time to sing the stretch.
For taking me out to the ball game are the girls basketball 4A state champions from Bolingbrook High School.
All right, Cub fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get bananas and fruit. Root, root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3, take care out and we all
Sometimes the best way to get closer is to get as far away from it all as possible. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. Ready to talk to your doctor? Find out how at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. 20 million men have had the Viagra conversation. Ask your doctor. Viagra is right for you.
Nice job by the Bolingbrook High School girls basketball team, state champs. Bottom 7. Ball 1 to Giovanni Soto. A couple of notes on the basketball team. They've been in the state championship game 4 straight times, winning the title in 06 and 09.
I think that qualifies as a dynasty.
Yeah, no doubt. Morgan Tuck, a freshman, was Illinois' Miss Basketball. 14 years old. Alex Gonzalez shoots it across. Get a chance to check out Loyola's team. Satavia Taylor is headed to Loyola. Candace Nevels will be at Murray State in Kentucky, so we wish them the best of luck.
Well, we wish the Cubs offense the best of luck, trying to figure out a way to break through against Johnny Cueto. I mentioned that magical 75 pitch mark. He blew right by that in the ball game tonight and still pitching very effectively, over 100 in this game.
Terrio at the plate, and it's off the plate inside. Miles next, and then if he gets to the pitcher's spot, they'll bat for Lilly on the pinch hitter. Ted at 96 pitches. He's been really good, but he's given up an unearned run and trails. Ted has been just about lights out here at home. His first 2 starts at Wrigley Field.
Well, there's no question he's taken advantage of the conditions a little bit. There have been some hard-hit balls, especially in this game tonight. And under different circumstances, probably would have been rolling down Waveland Avenue, but part of being a smart veteran pitcher.
The results are results, right? That's right. Terrio grounds out. Johnny Cueto is getting results. Cubs have not had a runner past second all night. Lou Pinella's favorite restaurant is Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse. Go where Lou goes for Chicago's best steaks. In Chicago, Rosemont or Lombard. Call 773 Holy Cow or visit harrycareys.com for reservations. Miles trying to keep this inning alive. Shallow fly to left. Hairston, however, is there, and Cueto breezes through the 7th. Reds 1, Cubs still nothing.
Toyota introduced the technologically advanced Prius Hybrid and created a phenomenon. In fact, it took us by surprise. It became the car for everyone. Find the right Prius for you. Get a special lease on a new Prius for $239 a month for 36 months, or choose $1,000 in customer cash. Prius has the highest EPA-rated combined fuel economy of any vehicle. Test drive America's most fuel-efficient car today.
It's so nice to have company after the accident.
What is it?
Someone paid me cash.
But who?
Who?
Affleck.
Who pays you cash when you're hurt and missing work?
Affleck.
Cash to help with expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. Like the mortgage, gas, and food.
Affleck.
What now?
Someone's standing on my foot.
Who could it be?
It's baseball time, Chicago. At Luna, that means double the savings. Your second room is free, and with free financing, Luna's double deal is a steal.
773-202 Luna.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Cub fans still looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com, click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. See a Cubs game from the best seats at Wrigley Field. Check out StubHub at Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. That's it for Ted Lilly. The shot we had during the break after the bottom of the 7th was Ted Lilly as his night came to an end. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 unearned run, no walks, 2 strikeouts for Lilly. Just one of those nights, and he's hoping to get a no decision, and the Cubs come from behind win. They're only down 1, and Angel Guzman will take over. And Bob, good news, Johnny Cueto is out.
That is good news, and really it doesn't matter who comes in out of that Reds bullpen at this point. Johnny Cueto had the Cubs number tonight offensively. Just couldn't seem to string anything together and put any kind of pressure on him in this game. And for Ted Lilly, it is another stellar outing. You know, just his own error was the only blemish on the ball game. He pitched a great game.
Lance Nix is jammed, and he'll roll out to Derek Lee. It's more of a philosophical discussion, but there are many fans who believe that if the pitcher makes an error, the resulting run should be earned. But we've discussed this before. I could not disagree more. There are two distinct things, pitching and defense. Now, they work in tandem, but a defensive miscue is an error, not a pitching error. So I don't care who makes the error. I like the fact that it is unearned. I don't know if you guys trying to make an error, but I don't think you can penalize the pitcher even if the pitcher makes the error.
Well, they say once he lets the ball go, he becomes a fielder. He's no longer a pitcher. He's just another defender in the middle of the infield. And if the pitcher happens to be the guy that makes the error, it's just it's the same thing as if the shortstop made the error, the second baseman or third baseman or first baseman. Now, if it's the catcher, it should never be an error.
For any reason. 1-2 on Taveras. Well, we know what Ted's going to say after the game. He's going to say, look, I can't make those two errors. Shouldn't have made the throw. The first one, and the second one was right to me, even though that one didn't come back to haunt him.
You're talking about errors. I had another conversation with Bob Rosenberg before the ball game today, the fine official scorekeeper here at Wrigley Field, and there's just a few things that, to me, scream out for team error. I don't understand. As long as we've played this game of baseball, there are some very obvious plays that happen on the field where you cannot penalize one defender, but you can't penalize the pitcher either. And the specific play I was asking him about, it happened to me during my playing career, and it's happened to other catchers before. The runner breaks for second base on a stolen base attempt. The catcher comes out of the chute, fires a ball down there, and it hits the bag at second base because the two middle infielders didn't know who was covering the bag. And the error always goes to the catcher, and I think that is such an injustice. Now, Bob Rosenberg said, and to his credit, he will go to the defensive team and say whose job was it to cover the bag on that play, and he will give the error to the middle infielder. I've never seen that happen before, and it certainly didn't happen to me, but that's one of those things in my eyes, that's a team error right there. Somebody made a mistake, but you can't penalize the pitcher and give him an earned run should that runner come around to score.
I would agree, and the scorers have so much latitude on certain calls, a lot of calls, that the ball that drops that should be caught over the shortstop in front of the left fielder, they both look at each other, and it's a hit. That's not a hit. Well played by Ramirez. That won't be a hit either.
Just electric quick hands down there at third base by Aramis Ramirez, and you better have quick hands when you're playing in even with the baseline for a potential bunter. He picks that ball clean, strong throw, that plenty of time to get Taveras. Well, you know you don't have much time when you're playing in guarding against a bunt. I mean, you have to get maybe one step and a dive. That time just a step to his left, went down to a knee, picked it clean, and threw him out.
2 down. We'd like to wish the Blackhawks well in their 4th playoff game with Calgary tonight. Hawks lead the best-of-7 series 2-1. That game just underway on the main Comcast Sportsnet channel. Check CSNChicago.com for details. And on the hands, fouled back. Angel Guzman's last outing resulted in his first Major League win. He has the game ball. He's going to give it to his mom.
Very nice.
Give it to a kid, give it to your mom. We like both. That's fine. Been a long time coming for Angel.
featuring a good fastball tonight. That last one at 96, really feeling it. Good late life on that heater.
He and David Patton really had to sweat it out, find out if they were going to make this opening day roster. They did, and Guzman finally has that first win. How about 2 in a row? Cubs can come back. Could not get that hot shot back up the middle, and Hairston keeps the Reds alive in the 8th. Hairston has squared up a few balls tonight. Sean Marshall will get loose. He's slated to start on Saturday in St. Louis. The Cardinals have not announced their starter for Saturday. But in reading the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, it sounds like it will not be P.J. Walters, but I think it'll be Mitchell Boggs instead. Cardinals lead the Mets 5-1. In the bottom of the 7th in St. Louis.
Could be a pickoff attempt over at first base. See Giovanni Soto flipping that thumb out there. Different teams use different signs for their pickoff attempts at first base. When there's nobody at second, Gio just kind of flicks his thumb out there to let the pitcher know, I want you to throw one over to first base. Could be a fastball in if he hits the spot. He tailed back out over the plate a little bit. Votto still couldn't get to it. Well, Sean Marshall starting to throw in that Cubs bullpen. He's getting ready in a hurry should this inning continue. And we get down to Jay Bruce's spot, the next left-handed hitter for Dusty Baker. Now, this one should be a pitch out, I think. It looked like just a straight fist from Giovanni Soto. That's usually a pitch out. Yep. It'll be a little trickier with a guy on second base if you want to have any kind of a pickoff attempt, and then teams will use different signs with the runner at second base if they want to attempt a back pick at first or a pickoff at third base. But with nobody out there at second base, pretty standard signs. You flip your thumb out there for a pickoff. It's a fist for a pitch out. Slide her down and in. See if they can't get Votto to swing over the top of it.
They could not. Tough pitch to lay off.
That's a good location for that pitch right there. Even if he does swing at it, he's either going to miss it or he's going to ground it weakly to the right side of the field. Starts it just on the inside corner, breaking down and in. That's a pretty good take. The thumb again, another pickoff attempt.
Drive to left, Soriano on the track again, and this time he doesn't have room. It's over his head, and Hairston's going to score. It looked like it hit either right below the basket or the bottom part of the basket. Just to the right of the well, and it's 2-0 Cincinnati. Again, another ball that probably gets out with the wind not blowing in like it is tonight. Yeah, that almost hit the fan's glove.
It looked like it hit the bottom part of the basket for it to come back on the field the way it did. Soriano goes right back against the bricks trying to make the catch. I'm surprised that ball carried as far as it did.
It's the first extra base hit for either team.
And we've seen some right-handed hitters square up balls tonight, hit them to left field that look like home runs, and didn't come anywhere near the warning track. And that time, Votto, going to the opposite field, very nearly got one into the basket.
Encarnacion is a strike to make it 1-2. And that's it as Guzman strikes out Encarnacion, but they add to their lead. Votto with the deep double to left, scoring Hairston, and it's 2-0 Reds.
What's your idea of financial security?
Financial security.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Retire when I want.
The wedding of my dreams.
Your Country Financial representative can provide you with a tangible plan to protect what you have and plan for the future.
Peace of mind.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
She wants to make up. We decided to turn in early.
We just know.
Finding the moment that's right for you both can take some time. That's why Cialis gives men with erectile dysfunction options. 36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Cialis for daily use is a clinically proven low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Cialis for daily use or 36-hour Cialis. Ask your doctor if Cialis is right for you, so when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Mark Shanowski in our Comcast Sportsnet studio reminding you to stay tuned for Cubs postgame live. Gail Fisher and Todd Hollandsworth will analyze all the key plays from Wrigley Field. They'll also bring you Lou Pinella's news conference. And don't forget, we've got tomorrow afternoon's series finale between the Cubs and Reds here on Comcast Sportsnet. Pregame live kicks off our coverage at 12:30. Now let's head back to the ballpark and rejoin Len and Bob.
Thank you, Mark. It's 2-0 Reds. And Mike Fontenot will bat for Angel Guzman. Here's David Weathers. He's still going. He'll turn 40 on September 25th. He sets up for their closer, Francisco Cordero. He's had a really good career, hasn't he?
He really has, and everywhere he's been, teammates rave about what a great guy he is to play behind. Very little secret. Sinker, slider, sinker, slider.
4-3 ground out to get Fontenot. Among the all-time leaders in appearances, the Reds have 2 of the top 70. David Weathers making his 902nd all-time appearance. Arthur Rhodes has made 720. Stormy, as they call him, is a former Cub. You're better off listing the teams he hasn't pitched for. Soriano, ground ball into the hole, and Gonzalez will just eat it. That'll be a hit for Soriano, and the tying run will come to the plate. A
I'll tell you, the Reds have made some great defensive plays in this ball game, especially behind Johnny Cueto when he was in there. Nice running catch by Willie Taveras on the warning track in right center. One of the finer catches you'll see over in that bullpen by Jay Bruce, and then Edwin Encarnacion getting dirty on the foul line at third base, throws out Aramis Ramirez at first. If you're going to have a night like Johnny Cueto did, and he was very good, 7 strong innings, only 4 base hits, did not allow a run, did not walk a batter, but he needed his defense tonight, and they made some good plays for him.
Strike one to Fukudome.
I think the big key for Cueto was no walks.
Yeah, he walked 6 in his last outing. He was on tonight. 1-1 on number 1. Over the last decade, David Weathers has been the busiest reliever in baseball. 651, including tonight, appearances since 2000. Not just busy, but really good. A 3.30 earned run average. Nearing kind of a fun milestone. He's now 4 games behind Cy Young in the games pitched list. I don't care what the list is. If you pass Cy Young, it could be home runs allowed. It could be something really bad. But if you pass Cy Young, I think they'll feather in your cap.
Rename the award after David Weathers. Best pitcher in each league will get the David Weathers Award.
Don't know if they go that far. 2-1. Smack down the line foul. The Reds shut out the Cubs back in April of 07, 1-0. I'm guessing Weathers probably pitched in that game, and this Loesch went the distance. Called strike 3 on the sinker. 2 outs.
The one that starts off the plate inside, you see Kosuke freezes, actually moves his back foot, preparing to get out of the way of that inside pitch, and that ball tailed right back over the inside corner. About a wind beater to left field here. What do you think?
Without looking at the numbers, I think this has been a tough matchup. Am I right?
I'm looking right at the numbers.
Yeah.
It hasn't been very good at all. 3 for 24 lifetime. That's a 125 batting average. He has drawn 7 walks. He's due.
Outside, 2-0.
You can see the crafty veteran David Weathers. If Derek Lee's going to beat him, it's going to have to be something to the opposite field. He's not going to make a mistake from the middle of the plate in. Everything's going to be away, away, away.
Well, this is his inning. There's nobody up in the Cincinnati bullpen unless he didn't want to get his closer up. Switch hitter on deck. Milton Bradley. 3-1.
Well, we know Derek doesn't like to swing at that 3-0 pitch very often, but against a guy like Weathers, that might be the one time you get out of your comfort zone and look to jump on that 3-0 pitch. That one right down the middle of the plate in the mid-80s. Ooh, got another one.
And it'll be just out of play. Might have been reachable if Votto had gotten to the tarp quickly. Just a little late. Give an assist to Roger Baird and the grounds crew, putting the tarp over on the first base side. There's Coco Cordero. Soriano gets a head start on the 3-2 pitch to Derek Lee. Pop up. Phillips went out, and right at the edge of the grass, he makes the grab, and we'll go to the 9th. It's still Cincinnati 2 and the Cubs nothing.
Flying from Chicago Midway to Minneapolis, St. Paul for business? Southwest Airlines offers a 7 a.m., 8:40, 10:55, 1 p.m., 3, 5 p.m. That's a lot of flights. Southwest Airlines has 8 daily nonstop flights from Chicago Midway to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Now you can fly when you want and do business your way. Book now only at southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Welcome to the stadium on a beautiful day for baseball. And folks, today...
Simplicity lawn and garden tractors are made like no other tractor in the world.
The field looks just tremendous.
With Simplicity's exclusive free-floating mower deck with full-width rollers, they can transform an ordinary grass area into a beautiful, professional-looking surface. Even if it's just your backyard. Simplicity, the best cut there is.
Create the bathroom of your dreams with help from Menards. Lions tubs and wall systems are on sale. This classic white bathtub has neck and armrests for added comfort, only $299. Or step up to this Whirlpool system with 8 massaging jets, only $599. Finish off your bathroom with a new toilet from Mansfield. The high-performance Summit model features the MagnaFlush system and a 3-inch flush valve, just $99. Dedicated to service and quality. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by American Chartered Bank, the bank for your business. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After the game, stick around for Lowe's Cubs post-game live. Get highlights of all the action, analysis from Todd Hollandsworth, plus check in on Lou Pinella's post-game remarks. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. The post-game will originate from the friendly confines tonight. Here's Kevin Gregg. Numbers aren't pretty, but his last outing was his best. On Saturday against the Cardinals, came on with first and second, no outs in the 8th, and a tie game, got out of it, then worked a 1-2-3 ninth to help the Cubs get that ball game into extras, and they won it in extras. One strike on Jay Bruce. You have 4 first names battling here. Kevin, Greg, Jay, Bruce.
Presenting justice to hit a ground ball to the right side where either Aaron Miles or Derek Lee will make the play.
Colton Bradley could be involved. That'll work. The Reds with a run in the 3rd. It was unearned. They added on in the 8th. Cubs are going to see a lot of fastballs, a lot of sliders in the bottom of the 9th from Francisco Cordero. So have Bradley, Ramirez, and Soto do up.
I'm just going to say, you saw Giovanni Soto block that breaking ball in the dirt. On a 2-strike count, a catcher has to make sure to keep that ball in front just in case the batter chases that bad pitch. If it was a 2-1 count or a 1-1 count and Kevin Gregg throws a breaking ball in the dirt, maybe you just try to backhand it, get out of the way, make sure you don't get hit by the pitch. But on a 2-strike count, you have to make sure to keep it in front in case that batter swings at it.
Another deep drive, about the same area, except this time it goes. And Jay Bruce with an opposite field home run to make it 3-0. And for Bruce, it's his 2nd home run of the series. Well, the Reds have just kept on trying to hit one in that spot, and Bruce finally did.
The fastball out over the plate. He catches it right off the barrel of the bat, but once again, the balls we've seen off the bat of right-handers go out there to left field and die, and Joey Votto off the basket, and now Jay Bruce over the basket. Left-handers going to the opposite field through the wind.
Going into tonight, the Cubs bullpen had a 3.07 ERA, third best in the National League. You know, they've had their issues, but they came in pitching really well. 1 earned run over the last 10 innings, but Guzman surrendered a run in the 8th, and Greg giving up the leadoff homer to Bruce in this inning.
I have to dig out my Physics of Baseball book written by Robert K. Adair. Talks about different things that happen in the game of baseball and uses the wide world of physics to explain a lot of things that happen on the field. And I want to see if he has anything about the rotation on an opposite field line drive off the bat of a lefty through the wind. Because those balls sure have been carrying to left field.
I don't know if this specific phenomenon is in the book. I'm sure it is, but we talk sometimes about a rising fastball. That's actually not accurate. You think about a guy like Kevin Gregg, what, 6'6"? If he threw a rising fastball, it'd be halfway up the backstop. But sometimes it does look like a good four-seam fastball actually does rise. I guess it just doesn't dip as much.
Just isn't affected as much by gravity as it makes its path from the pitcher's hand to the catcher's glove because of the amount of rotation they can get on that pitch. I think back to my playing days, Nolan Ryan certainly was a guy that it appeared his fastball was rising at times. Doc Gooden was a guy that could make it appear that his fastball was rising.
Now Chad Bradford, his fastball can rise because he comes from down under. Line shot, base hit for Brandon Phillips. Snapped an 0 for 22 earlier. He has 2 hits tonight.
Now, Kevin Gregg basically has been reduced to a one-pitch pitcher in this outing tonight. He just has not been able to come close to the plate with his slider. And, you know, the Reds hitters are paying attention. Ramon Hernandez has been standing in the on-deck circle, and the guys that are due up after Hernandez watching from the bench. When you see a pitcher struggle with one of his pitches, especially if he's only a 2-pitch pitcher, you can go to the plate and eliminate that breaking ball until he proves to you he can throw it for strikes.
Bradley in right. 1 out. Now the Felco Cubs upcoming schedule. No off days in sight with 20 straight. That stretch started last night. Comcast Sportsnet tomorrow afternoon, then Friday night from St. Louis. We'll also have games 1 and 3 from Steamy, Arizona. I would assume the roof, I hope it's working. It's going to be pretty hot in Phoenix.
Temperatures already in the triple digits down in the Valley of the Sun.
The triple digits here tonight. 0-4-5.
That was a while ago. I think it's dropped a little bit since the game started.
You're right. I might not even bring my jacket up tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day.
You are the eternal optimist.
David Patton joining Sean Marshall. up. And it's a souvenir. Paid crowd 38,738. Cold night. Many have headed for the exits with the Cubs trailing 3-0. Really close.
We're close to that inside corner. That fastball holding its path. Giovanni Soto trying to make it look better than it really is.
Soft liner. Terrio catches it. Mike Ryan was maybe trying to take a peek to see where Gonzalez was, if he was really hustling down the line. I think Ryan might have considered dropping the ball on purpose and trying to turn a double play.
Well, even if you don't turn two, it would have been a good trade-off to get Alex Gonzalez on the bases and get Brandon Phillips off. As you mentioned earlier, Gonzalez coming off a knee surgery, does not run well right now. Phillips, pretty good base runner.
Chris Dickerson batting for Weathers. They're getting a lot of help off their bench. Micah Owens a part of that. Cubs acquired Kevin Gregg in mid-November. It essentially signaled the end of Kerry Wood's 11-year Cubs career. Kerry eventually signed as a free agent with Cleveland. We'll see the Indians here at Wrigley Field in June as Wood and DeRosa return. We'll also see the Twins here at home. Cubs will head to Detroit. They'll play home and home with the White Sox as per usual. Two pitch, check swing, and he went far enough for a strikeout. Jay Bruce with a leadoff home run to make it 3-0. Last chance now for the Cubs. Bradley, Ramirez, and Soto against Francisco Cordero.
What's your idea of financial security?
Financial security.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Retire when I want.
The wedding of my dreams.
Your Country Financial representative can provide you with a tangible plan to protect what you have and plan for the future.
Peace of mind.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Anyone willing to go on a ride like this, that's not like, that's love. Put it on your credit card, check card, and checks with Cubs banking. Only from Bank of America.
Confidence. It really takes time to build confidence. You have to work at it. And eventually you come to the conclusion, I can do this.
Your Chevy dealers are building confidence with Chevy's trade-in protection plan, which locks in the value of your car down the road. The only trade-in protection plan of any car company in America.
If that isn't confidence, I don't know what is.
See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
If you've never been to Wrigley Field or been 1,000 times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25. A portion of the proceeds benefits Cubs-designated charities. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Milton Bradley against Francisco Cordero. Turned 34 on May 11th. He throws hard. It's 2-0. Bradley trying to find any way he can to get on base. With his team down 3. Missed again, 3-0. Ugly numbers for Cordero here at Wrigley. Remember the Ramirez home run when Cordero was a Brewer a couple years ago. That's a strike. If Cordero gets this save, he'll become the 11th pitcher ever with 100 saves in each league. 216 currently in all.
.216 saves puts him 7th on the career saves list among active pitchers. Mentioned a couple years ago with the Brewers, he saved 44, saved 34 last year with the Reds.
Foul tip, strike 3, so he comes all the way back from the 3-0 start. And he fans Bradley.
Next batter.
It's a pitch that Milton Bradley would probably not normally swing at, but because of the lack of activity and some of the strikes that he's had called on him recently, probably chased a pitch up out of the zone.
Comebacker base hit. That ball didn't hit Cordero, but in jumping out of the way, fell down.
Rami sends it right back where it came from. Just missed the right foot of Cordero. He goes down.
I don't think he's going to be on Dancing with the Stars for that.
I don't think so. You know, we've seen a lot of pitchers already in the early going this year make kick saves on those balls back through the box. Rich Harden kicked one over to Ryan Theriot to get an out. Cordero didn't want anything to do with that line drive.
That had broken foot written all over it. Speaking of which, he had right foot surgery near the end of last season. One strike to Soto. Last 5 times he's been on the mound, he has notched a save. Lofted to center. Taveras barely has to move. 2 outs.
I mentioned for Cordero coming into this series, he had pitched 3 out of the last 4 days, including back-to-back outings where he threw over 30 pitches in each of those outings. Was not available in the ball game last night. Of course, the Reds didn't need their closer in the ball game last night, but right back out on the bump tonight with a 3-run lead.
Ryan Theriot lifts into center. It's Taveras, and that's it. So the Reds shut out the Cubs 3-0. Johnny Cueto is really good. Weathers and Cordero with scoreless innings. And that'll set up a rubber match tomorrow. The producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Bob Albrecht. Our director, Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Christine Charbonneau, our stage manager in the booth. Our technical director, Chris Kentner. Our tech manager, Mark Harper. Jim Corno Jr. is our senior executive producer. Great work by our entire crew. And now, Bob, the Lexus Pursuing Perfection player of the game. Cubs beat Cueto the last 3 times around, but not tonight.
Well, he was very good tonight. They had some opportunities early in the ball game, but then he settled in and was dazzling. Only 4 hits over 7 innings, did not walk a batter.
So Johnny Cueto, the Lexus Pursuing Perfection player of the game. So that'll do it for our game coverage, but we have more to come as Gale and Todd get set up on the field. Post-game live is coming up. The final score tonight, the Reds 3, the Cubs nothing. Our next Cubs telecast tomorrow afternoon right back here at Wrigley Field. Pre-game live at 12:30. Bob and I take over at 1. First pitch at 1:20. Aaron Harang, Carlos Zambrano on the mound. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob and our entire crew, this is Len Casper. Stay tuned. Post-game live coming up next from Wrigley Field.
Want to see all the action from the front row? Now you can with the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. Front row seats will be auctioned off to each game all season long. For more information, visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. The best seats are always a click away.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices. Discount Tire.
Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
At 155 miles per hour, Andy Roddick has the fastest serve in the history of professional tennis. So I've come to this court to challenge his speed. On the internet, I'll be using the 3G AT&T Laptop Connect card. He won't. So I can book travel plans faster, check my account balances faster, all on the go. I'm Bill Curtis, and I'm faster than Andy Roddick.
Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network and get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free.
Would somebody please give me some good news?
Right now at Feldco, buy one window, get one free.
That sounds good.
Call 866 for Feldco.
For a limited time, buy one Feldco window and get one free. Do a room or do your entire house.
Feldco's buy one, get one, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Tomorrow, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs flood Wrigley Field to prove that Jay Bruce and the Cincinnati Reds that blue is the primary color in town. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live. Cubs Reds in HD. Tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs are back on the west side as the Bulls try to defend home court against the defending NBA champion Celtics. Neil Funk and Stacey King have the call as your hometown network brings you Game 3 tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. Menards. And Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. Midas, we're on this road together. Go to MidasChicago.com for valuable savings. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Toyota. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now.
The Cubs bats go cold. They scored 7 runs yesterday, but got nada tonight as the Reds shut out the Cubs. 3-0 is the final, and it's the first Cubs shutout at home in 2 years. April 15th, 2007 is the last time it happened, and ironically, Ted Lilly was on the mound for that one as well. Hello and welcome to Lowe's Cubs Post-Game Live. Gail Fisher and Todd Hollinsworth here with you. And Todd, we talked about this was a pitcher's kind of game. It's chilly. The guys' hands are cold, and so this is a pitcher's kind of night. It just went the Reds' way.
No base on balls from either pitching staff. 6 singles for the Cubs offense. It basically made for a bad night for the Cubs. You can't score any runs, you're not going to win any ball games. The Cubs seemed a little bit flat tonight.
And the Reds playing small ball off of Ted Lilly. Hard to find a player in the game offensively for this one, so it has to go to Johnny Cueto, who was our Felco star of the game. And Cueto was pretty much dealing for the Reds. He knew what to do.
Absolutely. He worked a great fastball into the game. I mean, that's essentially what he did. He nailed the corners. I mean, it's predominantly his best pitch. He throws from 89 to 94 miles per hour. He hits both corners. He works it in and out. He's not afraid to throw inside, and that's exactly what he did tonight. 94 miles an hour on a cold night like tonight. It didn't do wonders for the Cubs offense.
And taking a look at the pitching line for tonight, 7 innings for both pitchers. Their numbers were almost identical, except Lilly giving up that 1 run. It was unearned, though, because he had an error in that inning. In fact, Lilly had 2 errors in this game. Overall, though, Lilly did not pitch poorly. He had some tough breaks there, and it's a shame that he has to walk out on the losing end of this one.
I really felt like he pitched great tonight. He came out, he had control of all 3 of his pitches, his fastball, his curve, his sliders, changed 4 pitches. I mean, he even worked that into the count tonight. He was throwing them at will for strikes. I mean, he really just got small balled to death tonight. I mean, we were talking about the hits. I mean, the first 3 hits were essentially in the infield, the 4th one being on a stolen base attempt in which the second baseman was covering. So, I mean, he really threw the ball well tonight.
And Lilly having trouble here fielding tonight. We saw the 1 error that he threw to Derek Lee way off base, and then that was the 2nd error. It just was a matter of the Reds sort of attacking him with a lot of infield singles, laying down the bunts, and Lilly unable to put a handle on a couple of those.
Well, Dusty Baker was trying to make some creative offense. That's what you call it when your team top to bottom is struggling offensively, and that's what you see. Hit and runs, stolen base attempts, moving guys up, lots of sacrifice bunts, scrapping it together, trying to create some sort of offense. This Cincinnati offense is off to a slow start. Nobody is really clicking outside of Joey Votto, and they're just trying to make up runs any way they can right now.
All right, well, Lou Piniella just stepped to the podium. Let's listen in on the Cubs skipper.
Proved to be so.
Lou, do you feel like Milton's pressing at all?
I hope not. I don't see why he should be.
I think it's going to take him some time to get his timing and stroke down a little bit.
He took some early batting practice today. Got to keep working.
He's still favoring that a little bit.
Well, we'll talk to him tomorrow and see how he feels.
Did your bullpen give up 2 more runs tonight? What's your level of concern then?
What concern do I have? I've never said I had concern. Are you concerned? Usually when you guys ask questions is because sometimes you're concerned.
Lou, you've had
high
pressure players like Milton Bradley before. Does it take them a while to cool down when they get into a new situation? I'm trying to rephrase the question.
I don't know. You can talk to the individual yourselves. I mean, I write out the lineup. I try to make it as comfortable as I can for the players. Give them opportunities, and I'm not talking about one player in particular. I'm talking about everybody. And these guys are professionals. Anybody's entitled to a slow start. Let's not judge a player, whomever, because of a slow start. A lot of players get off the slow starts and they build the year and end up with excellent years. And I think it's too early to make judgments on anybody, truthfully.
Thanks. All right, Lou Piniella talking a lot about Milton Bradley, who made his return to the starting lineup tonight, and it was a tough return for him. 3 strikeouts on the night, Todd. You and I talked a little bit about this. When you have so much time off, it's been over a week since Milton Bradley has started in a ball game, you sort of lose your sense of timing a little bit.
Absolutely. As an offensive player, as the number 4 hitter in a big lineup, I mean, there's a lot that's being thrown upon him. But right now, I think with the injury, with his timing being off, that's what I'm seeing. Milton Bradley does not strike out a lot. He's not a strikeout hitter. He's behind the fastball. He's out in front of the off-speed pitches. And right now, what's going on is he is feeling for it at the plate. He's trying to get it going. He's trying hard, but the inconsistency, being in and out of the lineup, is definitely hurting his swing right now. It's definitely hurting his timing, and he's going to get it back. He just needs to be out there on a regular basis. So hopefully he gets through this leg injury, gets through tonight, cold night tonight. It warms up this weekend. Things will turn out better for him.
And a couple of those strikeouts were looking, so also being able to see the ball is something that you miss when you're not in that lineup.
Well, absolutely. You don't want to lose track of the ball. And the first thing to go is your eyesight. That's exactly what ends up happening. 94-mile-an-hour fastballs get an awful lot faster when you're not seeing them on a daily basis.
All right, the Cubs had a tough one here at Wrigley. They lose to the Reds. 3-0 is the final. We have to take a break. And as we go to break, as always, let's take a look at our Cubs opinion poll question of the night. When you go to games at Wrigley, do you prefer A, night games, or B, day games? I think we should have in there, depends on the weather, right? To cast your vote, log on to our website at csnchicago.com. Click on the Cubs page and give us your vote. We'll have the results later in the show. Stay with us.
I'm Faye McClure, Vice President of Strategic Marketing for Farmers Insurance. Farmers is proud to be the sponsor of diversity programming on Comcast Sportsnet. To learn more about our diversity initiatives, please visit ichoosefarmers.com.
Would somebody please give me some good news?
Right now at Feldco, buy one window, get one free.
That sounds good.
Call 866 for Feldco.
For a limited time, buy one Feldco window and get one free. Do a room or do your entire house.
Feldco's buy one, get one, and soon, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Right now, you can get 5 Arby's regular roast beef sandwiches for just $5.95. It's our delicious, freshly sliced classic roast beef piled high on a hot toasted bun. Stop by today and pick up 5 Arby's regulars for the amazing price of just $5.95. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Buy a ticket to Blue Man Group and receive a free ticket to a Cubs game May 1st through 5th. Call 1-800-BLUE-MAN for details.
I'm freezing. 212 Jackson.
Don't get burned. Call Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning at 866-4SEASONS. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons.
Text Jaguar to the number 24442 to learn about 0% APR and exceptional lease offers.
This quote of the week is brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich, in business for over 30 years. For an insurance quote for auto, home, life, or business, please call Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich at 847-825-4783.
Welcome back. Time to look at our Four Seasons. Who's hot, who's not list for the week. Ian Kinsler, the second baseman for the Rangers, is hot, batting .571 right now. Aaron Hill of Toronto, batting .464 with 7 ribbies. And Torii Hunter has knocked 3 home runs with 6 RBI. Who's not hot? Josh Hamilton, batting just .143, and he's struck out 11 times. Jose Contreras for the White Sox, 0-2 with an 8.44 ERA. And Kyle Farnsworth, the former Cub, is also 0-2 with a 27 ERA. Welcome back to Lowe's Cubs Post-Game Live. Gail Fisher and Todd Hollinsworth with you live from Wrigley Field. A tough day for the Cubs as they fall to the Reds 3-0. And the Reds got some really good pitching from Johnny Cueto. We mentioned that. The Cubs couldn't get anything going offensively, and also it helped that the Reds played some pretty good defense behind Cueto.
Absolutely. Well, that's what Cincinnati tried to do in the offseason. When they let Ken Griffey Jr., Adam Dunn go, these were moves they were trying to get more athletic. Dusty Baker is a big fan of athleticism, athletic outfielders, guys who can go get the ball. Now, granted, they cashed in 70 home runs for a little bit more speed and defense out there, but it's going to pay off in the long run, I think. This team is young. They're trying to build. They're trying to get better. They're good. People understand that Cincinnati is going to be a team to contend with this year. You know, maybe they're not over the top yet, but they're pretty good, and they're achieving what they wanted to achieve over there, which was get younger, get more athletic, get more versatile out on the field, and they've got that right now. You saw that in those defensive plays.
Well, Ted Lilly picks up his first loss of the season. He was trying to go 3-0 on the year to start a season for the first time in his career. He didn't pitch poorly, 7 strong innings. He gave up just 1 run. It was unearned. And here's Ted Lilly at the podium after the game just a few minutes ago.
Not as good as Johnny Cueto feels about his. And, you know, that's what I take from it is you know, it would have been a nice night to go out there and keep up with the other guy. I mean, that guy threw the ball very well, and you know, I had my hands full with trying to keep pace with him. Unfortunately, it came down to a pretty fundamental baseball play where I tried to make a throw when there wasn't even a play at first to begin with. So, and then Cueto bunts for a base hit there. So, you know, it's amazing that you talk about, you know, you go back to spring training, you talk about all those little things and how important they are, and you know, and we work hard on them, but and here they you know, they come up in a game like this, and you know, ended up making a difference. So
overall, you feel you threw the ball well, and you had some pretty good innings.
Yeah, I threw the ball okay. I think tonight was, as you saw, it was a good night to pitch. The wind, at least when I was out there, the wind was blowing in. I gave up a couple balls that were hit pretty well. But other than that, I mean, I was locating my fastball okay. I didn't feel as good tonight as I did the other night, but we improvised a little bit and you know, threw a few more curveballs than I have in my first couple starts.
When you're kind of falling off the mound like that, I mean, you seem to get your bearings pretty close.
Yeah, I'm confident fielding bunts, so I'm pretty frustrated. I sure would, you know, would like it if guys want to continue to try and bunt on me. I don't expect anything like that to happen very often.
A couple of tough breaks for Ted Lilly tonight. He gives up a run. The Cubs bullpen gives up 2 more, and the Reds beat the Cubs 3-0 is your final. We'll take a look at the series finale tomorrow. And we've got some breaking news out of the bullpen as the Cubs are going to make a roster move tomorrow. We'll tell you about that when we come back.
If you're thinking about buying a Range Rover Sport, perhaps this might get you off the fence. Range Rover Sport, the luxury that's more than a luxury.
Would somebody please give me some good news?
Right now at Feldco, buy one window, get one free.
Call 866 for Feldco.
What's your idea of financial security?
My idea of financial security? Enough for an early retirement.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Helping my grandkids with college.
Protection for my new driver.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Welcome to the stadium on a beautiful day for baseball. And folks, today...
Simplicity lawn and garden tractors are made like no other tractor in the world.
The field looks just tremendous.
With Simplicity's exclusive free-floating mower deck with full-width rollers, They can transform an ordinary grass area into a beautiful, professional-looking surface. Even if it's just your backyard. Simplicity. The best cut there is.
Yeah, you know the spot.
Right away, sir.
Welcome to Giordano's. Your table's ready.
Thank you.
How's everything?
Fantastic.
What's your secret?
It's the fresh ingredients, and it's been so for the last 30 years.
We made it good. You made it famous.
I like this one.
Spring Meadow. Green is very calming.
It's amazing how paint can transform a room.
I love this color.
Come to Lowe's for high-quality Valspar paint. You can even get 8-ounce samples to find the color that's right for you. All at our everyday low prices, guaranteed. Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Looking for a good long-term investment besides stocks and real estate? The Range Rover Sport is predicted to have the highest residual value in its class. Range Rover Sport, the luxury that's more than a luxury.
Welcome back to Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. Checking out our Cubs opinion poll question of the night. When you go to games at Wrigley, 71% of you prefer day games over night games. I'm not sure if that's because you can drink all day and then still go out at night. And Todd, I don't know if you had a preference. I know a lot of players like the night games over the day games.
Well, it's definitely warmer during the day games, and I can attest to that right now. It is chilly out here, so maybe day games during the summer and night games, or maybe I get that flipped. Maybe day games games during the winter or during the early part of the season, and night games during the summertime might be a little bit nicer.
And I bet you if we polled players' wives, they might say day games so you could be home with the kids and home for dinner at night like a 9-to-5 job.
It definitely is a nice gig. There's no doubt about it. It's a little bit more normal.
All right, let's check out tomorrow's starters now. It's Carlos Zambrano against Aaron Harang. Ace against Ace. Big Z struggled his last time out, Todd, obviously giving up the 7 earned runs.
This is a very big game for him. I think he's got a great opportunity coming here. Cincinnati's struggling so much offensively. I think that if he comes out here tomorrow and is the Carlos Zambrano of old, he can come out here and dominate, hit the corners, make good use of his pitches. I think it'll be a good day for him. They are struggling hard over there, so I think this is a big chance for him.
All right, they still have a chance to win this series, and they're bringing Jeff Samardzija up to put him in the bullpen tomorrow. Todd and I will be with you for Cubs pregame tomorrow starting at 12:30. For Todd, I'm Gail Fisher. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented to you by Lowe's. This season, spring starts at Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Incredible.
Daisies in every color. No way. Cyclamen in purple?
Spring starts at Lowe's. Come see our enormous selection of plants and flowers, specially selected for your area.
Are those geraniums?
And it's all at everyday low prices, guaranteed. Lowe's, let's build something together.
Come into Lowe's this week and get Preen Mulch Plus, now $4.47.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices. Discount Tire.
Would somebody please give me some good news?
Right now at Feldco, buy one window, get one free.
That sounds good.
Call 866 for Feldco.
For a limited time, buy one Feldco window and get one free. Do a room or do your entire house.
Feldco's buy one, get one, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Hops are the soul of Samuel Adams.
Hops add a spicy citrus flavor to Sam Adams.
The best hops have been grown on family farms like the Stengelmeyers for centuries. It has unique conditions of soil, moisture, and sunlight.
Boston Lager, the proof is in the taste.
Text Jaguar to the number 24442 to learn about 0% APR and exceptional lease offers.
I'm Faye McClure, Vice President of Strategic Marketing for Farmers Insurance. Farmers is proud to be the sponsor of diversity programming on Comcast Sportsnet. To learn more about our diversity initiatives, please visit iChooseFarmers.com.
How can this be a salad?
Taco Bell's new fully loaded taco salads featuring Chipotle steak. Carne asada steak drizzled with creamy Chipotle dressing, then loaded with beans, cheese, rice, and just enough lettuce so it's technically a salad. Think outside the bun.
Nice job.